I'm like already known at most of these bars for playing them, and everyone already kind of knows my story.
Of course.
And the bartender's like, "You sure?" And I'm like, "Bitch, just give me the fucking drink. What do you want me to give you my chip or something?"
Right.
Like I was already that like full fright from reality. I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I did it. But I had access to cocaine the whole time, and I never did it. So I know the program worked because there was some of it back there. Like I wanted to jump off, but I didn't want to fucking complete suicide. Yeah, I just was like, it goes back to like pride and control. Like I was like, I can fucking manage this. I have a coke problem, not a drinking problem. And I kept on having to tell myself that every day. 6 months in, I'm just like, I can't do this shit no more.
Hello.
Yeah, don't do that.
What? No matter what I do, I just like.
So Chad,
yeah.
Shane,
Yeah. Migs?
Migs.
Go
by Migs Whiskey.
Migs Whiskey.
That's my stage name.
Nice. Good.
I do outlaw folk music.
Outlaw folk music?
Yeah, people say it's like the Mexican Johnny Cash. Some would say Mexican Mike Nez. I would not say neither because I respect both of those artists, but that's what they say.
Nice.
Yeah, I heard Johnny Cash. Yeah, that's what I heard.
You did?
Yeah.
You heard him singing Johnny Cash?
No, I heard that he sounded like Johnny Cash. That was what they compared him to. Yes.
Do you know who Mike Ness is?
I have no. Oh yes,
Social
I do.
Distortion.
Oh wow,
I do. I know. The only reason I do because I knew his kid.
How did you know his kid?
Through some other stuff.
Yeah. He's on the road with his dad now.
Yeah.
I gotta open up for them. I opened up the Foundation Room, and then they played the House of Blues on January 10th.
Oh, nice.
So it was like a dream come true, low key. I didn't share the same stage, but we shared the same audience.
Right.
So it was cool. And like the House of Blues, like, how do you feel about opening up for Social Distortion? I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm down.
Who wouldn't be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Good for you. Yeah. And that's what, staying sober.
Straight up. Straight up. All of it goes to recovery, for reals. Because like I've been an artist since I was 12, but I didn't really take it serious till 2017. And that's since I picked up an illegal substance. You know?
So that's the last time was 2017.
2017, for 6 years, I haven't touched an illegal substance, but I relapsed on alcohol. It's just, it's been hard with the music. I'm not gonna make no fucking excuses.
Yeah, bro. It's
straight
life
up
is hard.
I got in a motorcycle accident. Broke both of my scaphoids in my leg, on my ankle, and then my hands weren't healing, and I started getting depressed because I thought I was gonna be able to play guitar no more. I was just psyching myself out.
Yeah.
I had the cash for like 8 months, and then they're like, "You got to take this medication," and it was what is it fucking called? It's a narcotic for sure. It's an opiate. Fuck it. Percocet.
Oh, perks.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, I'm not gonna take this shit. And then they're like, well, we'll let you talk to the specialist. Talk to the specialist. They fucking talked me low key into it. I called my sponsor about it. He's all like, well, I don't know, how do you feel about it? You feel like you're gonna be able to handle that?
Right.
And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, I won't even take it as prescribed. I'll take like a smaller dose. And fuck, dude, the moment I put it in me, I think like just being already close to like so much like self-pity and almost resentment, I just said, fuck it. And like, I started healing, but the thought was already in my head. Yeah. And then like started messing around with some chick, which I'm married, so I'm cheating. I'm fucking out there again. I'm riding with the guys. I'm not going to fucking meetings. I already knew. I was like, I'm going to fucking drink. And then I gave up my time. I walked into a bar, and I'm like already known at most of these bars for playing them, and everyone already kind of knows my story.
Of course.
And the bartender's like, you sure? And I'm like, bitch, just give me the fucking drink. What do you want me to give you my chip or something?
Right.
Like I was already that like full fright from reality. I was like, I'm going to do it. And I did it. But I had access to cocaine the whole time, and I never did it. So I know the program worked because there was some of it back there. Like I wanted to jump off, but I didn't want to fucking complete suicide. Yeah, I just was like, and it goes back to like pride and control. Like I was like, I can fucking manage this. I have a coke problem, not a drinking problem. And I kept on having to tell myself that every day. 6 months in, I'm just like, I can't do this shit no more.
So just drinking every day?
I wouldn't say I was drinking every day. I was back to a handle of bourbon.
Yeah.
But I was trying to like psych myself that I had control, and it wasn't working. None of it, like, trust me, the more I talk about it, the more it's like just me fucking trying to co-sign a fucking relapse and just staying out there. But eventually I went to like, I still remember 6 months in, I go into Goat Tavern on Newport.
Yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah. Oh, goddamn, the girls.
You know where that is?
No.
The Goat Tavern.
Oh, yeah, right on the corner, PCH there.
Yeah. Not PCH, is it?
It's off the... When the 55 dies out.
55 ends.
Oh, okay.
It's across the street from the Triangle.
Yes, the Triangle.
I ordered 2 fucking beers, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, I can't do this shit no more. And I just like gave myself like a couple days, and I walked back into the rooms. Yeah. And I was just like, tail between my legs. I'm like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
So I had, you know how it is in the 12 steps. You got to start over.
We were just talking about this all the time.
So I'm like, whatever gets me the support again of like people, I'll do. But like, 6 years since I haven't touched my fucking drug of choice, which was bullshit because alcohol too. But yeah, and I still like, and that's what kept me alive out there. Just like having all that recovery in me, like, you know, recovery does work, and it's not just abstinence. Like I got out of debt. You know, I made all my amends, my financial and my amends with people. Like the only thing I started ruining was my marriage.
Right.
So like a lot of it worked, and it's not me. I would be bullshitting you to say like shit didn't fall apart because I got my life in control. It's like, no, it's a lot of it was like the discipline. Cause I went David Goggins into my recovery. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we love those 2 words, man.
But David Goggins?
No, discipline.
Oh.
Yeah.
And David Goggins.
You said 2 words.
2, I was saying discipline and David. Discipline and David.
David Goggins.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. But
I haven't been at the gym for 2 weeks because of David fucking Goggins.
But it's amazing, the self-pity, hey? The self-pity. And you lose God right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I don't want to sit here and say like I fucking kind of co-sign it, but like, yeah, like it was just that. It was self-pity, resentment. I mean, I remember when I had that first shot, I just said like, God, don't let me lose my path. So I was like still there.
Yeah.
I wanted to escape my reality. And that's my thing. Like I've realized this, like the more time I got, there's a difference between abstinence and recovery.
Right. Oh, that's an absolute for sure. Because there's guys that sit in AA meetings that have 20 years sober and they have nothing that I want.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And there's guys that have less time than me that have fucking kicked ass and are like, I'm like, man, that right there, that's recovery. That's good stuff. That looks good right there.
And that's what I had that kept me afloat. Yeah. I had recovery. Like I had a solid, like, you know, like I had made those amends. Everyone in my life was back. Like, and I didn't want to ruin that. And that's what kept me. Because if I just had abstinence, bro, I wouldn't even be here right now.
Yeah.
And I've had that in the past.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of my story. And obviously for the music, the program showed me how to be accountable, show up. Yeah. You know, and I mean, I went like David Goggins into my recovery. So, you know, everything just started blowing up. I made the name what it is. And I never sent emails to none of the podcasts that got me on. I never sent emails to none of the bars or the venues. Everyone always got a hold of me. And that's not like arrogance, that's confidence. Like they hit me up and like, hey, we want you to come. I was like, how did you hear about me? Everyone's talking about you. Everyone knows you show up. Like all the promoters say like, you want a fucking artist that shows up, because that's the one thing about us artists. We show up whenever the fuck we want. Most of us got habits. No one wants to deal with our egos. And I didn't have that. I fucking would come in, and these promoters knew like he'll be there on time. He'll set up. He'll even let some of the guys fucking borrow their shit if they're like about it. Yeah. And I owe all that shit to recovery.
How'd you get into it?
Music?
Yeah.
12 years old. Grew up in Montebello, and 2 females were playing an acoustic, Layla and Jessica. And then I was just like, I want to do that. And I picked it up and bought my first guitar. It was a Sunlight acoustic. learned how to play Wild Things, which is G, C, and D, and realized that most songs are 3 chords and the truth. And those 3 chords being G, C, and D, especially in punk rock, that's what it was. And that was the scene that I was in. I was in the punk rock scene.
Yeah. When did you realize you could sing, though?
We had a band. We started a band right away, right? I start learning some chords, and we start saying, well, fuck, the Ramones did it, right?
They did.
You know what I mean?
That's the first concert I ever went to.
Really?
13 years old.
The Ramones.
The Ramones.
That's,
I got to see them live.
Wow.
Yeah. That was 88.
88.
Yeah.
Damn. 1 year later, I was born. Yeah. So we said that, you know, the Ramones did it. So what the hell?
Yeah.
And we went to Pico Rivera off Grape Street, and my homie Ekno was the drummer. I was the bass player. Vicious was the guitarist, which he's my lead guitar now too. And we started playing some riffs, and then they're like, well, what's up with the lyrics? And like, well, how about we all go home and write something and see who writes the best thing and does it? And I wrote the best thing, and I ended up becoming the bass player singer. And then after, I just started like realizing that I really like to write, and it was a form of way of expressing myself. And there was a lot of things I wanted to express. I just think like punk rock though started becoming like a cage, so I started just like writing more than anything. And next thing you know, years later, I come up with Outlaw Folk as I was doing time in 08, 09. Didn't know it was going to become what it was going to become.
Right.
But
what do you think about these microphones?
they're bad. I like this whole space, man. This
Have you
bad.
have you you know about these ones?
No, I know the brand.
Yeah.
I don't know too much info. I'm just like the guy that writes. I know this brand is really good.
Yeah.
But doesn't it make his voice sound
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we don't have good voices.
No.
Shane
Vera,
especially
what
not
has become of you?
what is that? What are you singing?
Pink Floyd.
Oh, that's Pink
Oh.
Floyd.
Vera.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not. I wasn't a huge Pink Floyd guy.
No.
But
Who are you into? Like what kind of bands?
I like, well, in my young days, like in the 80s, I liked like the Sex Pistols, the Ramones. But then what happened was, also heavy metal was heavy metal. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was heavy metal.
It was all Judas Priest, Guns N' Roses, all that stuff.
Judas
AC/DC.
Priest, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC.
Yeah.
Metallica?
Yeah.
Metallica, I was really
Megadeth?
Yeah, of course.
I didn't like
yeah,
Megadeth.
all the
I
heavy
still
metal.
don't like Megadeth.
I was
I
a
tried to
headbanger.
listen to Megadeth the other day, and I was like, God, they don't still. I had Metallica on, and then I had Megadeth right after, and I don't know what it was.
And that's like the biggest battle with metalheads though. Like they're like, who's better, Metallica or Megadeth?
And
like,
it's
especially-
Metallica, if you ask me.
Well, they definitely had a lot more
Hits.
hits.
Yeah. Mainstream,
But like
more
the
mainstream.
singer from Megadeth being a part of Metallica at one point and doing that solo
Yeah,
without the guys,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
brothers, I guess you would
Yeah,
call it. Like,
yeah.
Who is it? Mark Manson talks about it in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. He talks about like the whole thing about how I think it's Dave Mustaine, right? Is the
Yeah.
singer from Megadeth?
Megadeth. Yeah,
Yeah, that how he was like, in a sense, he never felt like he was like successful because he was always comparing his success to Metallica, the first band he was a part of.
right.
So it's like who it was like pretty much I think in the chapters trying to teach you like to not compare yourself to someone like your roommate, but if your roommate's like Elon Musk, like you maybe not want to compare yourself to your roommate and your roommate's Elon Musk. Same thing with Dave Mustaine, like he would always compare his success to the band, his first band, which was
And
fucking
that was
Metallica.
a whole band too. I mean, there were some talented people in that
Yeah,
band.
the drummer
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ended up not liking them though later on in life when I realized I didn't like some of their just I don't know. They went all crazy do you remember that when you could download music? I forget what it was called.
Napster.
Napster.
They were pissed.
They were pissed.
Yeah, they were pissed. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
And
were
I
like-
was like, no, I like Napster,
They
guys.
were
Sorry.
woke. They were woke back then.
Yeah, they were
the
woke.
first ones to
Yeah.
like straight go against that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
big time. And you know what? Artists have figured out the new way to make money.
Yeah.
People know how to make money in this digital age.
Yeah.
Which started with Napster.
Yeah.
So it is possible.
I mean, it was the death of the labels.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously, if you're winning money at that time, you never want that to happen.
No, never.
I mean,
And
come
they were
on.
winning.
Never.
Yeah, and they were winning.
Yeah.
I mean, they were. They were killing the
fucking
game.
Yeah.
rich.
But now it's cool because, like, I mean, even like YouTube did that with television,
Right.
right? Like YouTube now has so many channels that we don't even need
Yeah,
TV.
TV's out. I don't have TV.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I got Hulu and YouTube.
Like who has cable TV? Do you
No.
have cable TV?
Michelangelo? No. YouTube. I got no
see?
cable.
Like, I'm a YouTube guy,
Yeah.
and like that's how I started my career. It was I started it off my wife's iPhone. She recorded my first song, which was Death Valley, on the phone, and put it up on YouTube, and that's what took off this whole thing. And and ever since then, it's been like that. So I don't know, like there's goods and bads, and
Right.
I don't know. You just got to learn to like go with it.
Yeah.
I guess like they say in the program,
Just
accept life on life's terms.
Right?
That was a big turning point though in the world, was going from like, radio stations. All of a sudden there's this thing called the internet.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that changed the world.
Yeah.
And they had to figure out how to navigate it. And they were at the top of their game when that happened. I think all of them are fucking super rich still though, to this day, right?
Royalties, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not hurting.
Nah, man.
Shit, they were just playing. Didn't they have like a Lollapalooza or something just last year? They did a Lollapalooza last year, and I went to Lollapalooza in 1992, and I think Ice Cube was there. I know that, and then Ministry was there. What was that? The White Zombie?
Oh, yeah.
They were there. Cypress Hill.
Cypress
Oh, yeah,
Hill.
they're good.
Cypress
Damn,
Hill.
I like
See, then that's what happened with me. You're asking me about my music. I went from that, and I am the age of gangster rap.
For sure.
So as that all transitioned, NWA. I mean, we were listening to NWA and Metallica.
Yeah.
And then the heavy metal kind of started to disappear. And the Nirvana people came in, but so did Snoop Dogg, Too Short, Tupac.
And I love that you say that, because I think people try to put us in these boxes, right? Like, I just listened to this, like, white boys, that's like Pink Floyd only. It's like, nah, man. Like people don't know this. Like even with me, I had that trouble. Like, being Mexican American, they thought like, oh, you're listening just to gangster rap, and I'm like, oh, you're a gangbanger. And I still get that. Like, I remember I was doing open mic nights, and I would come in, and they were like, oh, sorry, it's not rap today. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm like, got my Taylor guitar. And then I would play, and it was like breaking that. And that's what the generation we're definitely in now. Like, where genres are dying out.
Yeah.
Everything, like the envelope is open, because now we have like an abundance of choices, and it's always been like that. And I think at some point they want to put you in a box, but like, definitely, I mean, Frank Sinatra and the 70s movement was happening at the same time. That doesn't mean you don't listen to Frank. Frank's good, man. I did it my way. So it's like, I relate to that. Like, I'm too listen to gangster rap. I was more into the East Coast rap too. And most of the music I was into.
When you were out here,
yeah,
it was all about the West Coast during that time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. But I really liked East Coast rap because it was conscious and aware. You had like Mos Def and all of them. And like, I liked even the punk, I liked the hardcore that was coming out of New York, because they were at that time, they were vegans before vegans was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had the straight edge dudes, even though I wasn't straight edge. But God, man, these fools' pits were different. I mean, the original pit comes from LA, the Circle Pit. But that whole thing now where they start swinging, that's like some East Coast thing.
Yeah. I've only been in one pit.
Yeah?
Swinging. Yeah. It was crazy.
And you're a big guy.
Yeah, I was
Were you
not, and
young?
I was body up, bro. I was body checking guys. I was fucking people up. It was great. But the funny thing is, with these mosh pits, these guys would get popped. They'd go down. They'd shake it off. They'd come back. Yeah. They
It's
loved
such a,
it.
it's the culture. It's like a ritual. Like, you go in there and it's like you take your aggression out. And it's,
Yeah.
I got a lot of my friends, and see, that's the funny thing too, is because like a lot of my friends, and being like a white boy in that era, you were really supposed to only listen to punk rock. or heavy metal.
Yeah.
But it's like punk rock. But
Yeah,
no,
going back to the boxes.
I liked gangster rap, man. But that changed. Now all those guys, a lot of them don't like it still, the punk rockers from my era, but it's accepted now.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know what changed there, but like Eminem changed the game.
Yeah, changed it.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that right there.
He
That's all I
changed the
listened to
game.
when he came out.
Yeah.
Just him.
And you see, like, what we're really talking about to the core of this whole conversation is game changers, right? Napster changed the game. YouTube changed the game. I mean, we need that stuff. And like but those people get attacked big time while they're changing the game.
They do.
I mean, we were just talking about Jordan Peterson before we walked in here. Like the stuff he's saying is changing the game.
Yeah.
It's even changing the field.
Yeah.
Right? And it's changing a lot
That's
of
funny.
things.
He is changing the field.
Yeah.
And like same thing with me and my brother Vicious. That's what we were. Like here we are playing a genre called outlaw folk music, and we're two Mexican Americans.
Yeah.
Inspired by the 70s.
Yeah.
Not only punk rock, but Leonard, the Creedence, fucking the Eagles.
Yeah.
People don't know this. Like my favorite band is the Eagles, man. Shout out to my Uncle Corey. And why? Because my Uncle Corey's white. You know, that's the first time, and people
They
don't know
got some
this.
good songs, the Eagles, though. It's a huge
come
lineup,
on.
man. Almost every album has some songs.
It's hits on top of
Hits
hits,
on top
and
of
then they
hits.
had Glenn and Don,
Yeah.
which later on
They split,
when
yeah.
they split, they
Yeah.
still did
They
their own
still
thing.
did their own, yeah.
And that's when you know you got a great band.
Yeah,
When
you
guys can
split
split
off, yeah.
and then it still makes something happen, like the Beatles, Lennon,
Yeah.
Paul McCartney,
Yeah.
you know, Metallica,
Yeah.
Megadeth.
Yeah.
You know, like so when you got that, like I shout outs to people that got multiple talents in there.
Right.
But
Yeah, not
it's,
easy.
Yeah, it's
Not
not.
easy.
It's not. But we need that. Like we need the Eminem. And I mean, I would have to say Eminem is the GOAT. I mean, straight up in mine. I like Eminem and I like Nas.
Right.
And you know, a lot of other people would say Jay-Z, Tupac. I love Nas.
I mean, they're all good. Everybody you just mentioned are really good. Biggie, good.
Biggie.
I mean, good. But the one thing about Eminem is his the way he uses words.
Yeah.
He's a like a wordsmith,
Yeah.
which it's just so beyond what most of the rappers were doing.
Yeah.
And even still do.
Yeah.
And on top of that, if he wants to, he can rap super fast. Like what's that one guy that he's like the second
Speed rapping or whatever?
Yeah, but I can't think of his name right now. I just saw him on Instagram, but he's like and I mean but he's actually saying words. I can't even do that stuff.
It was like Twister and like Bone Thugs too had like a fast a way of rapping. But another thing too that I liked about Eminem was the passion and the pain he talked about. Like there's some songs in there, like even like as a young kid, and I think that's why I got into punk rock, because there was like a lot of, you know, anger, and Eminem showed that in his first, like, I mean, he's talking about killing his baby's mom, and then it's like, like my guilty conscience, like I'm a criminal. You know what I mean? Like songs like that, like
I love that shit.
I love that shit.
I was still in my insanity.
It was like punk rock rap. But
was.
without like that like a gigolo whole thing going. You know,
Yeah.
like not like the Insane Clown Posse, which is crazy because he had beef with them for a while.
Yeah,
But
he
it wasn't that. You know what I mean? It was his own thing. It wasn't like the Cottonmouth Kings. It was him.
Yeah.
And it was dark, and there was some stuff. I mean, would be like, oh yeah, and he had that split personality, right? The Slim Shady and the Marshall Mathers,
Right.
and I love that.
Yep. Me too.
Yeah, so
Good shit. It's funny, the people they're like the people that like Eminem. Sometimes I'll meet like a soccer mom, and they're fucking bumping Eminem still. You know, it's like, what the fuck? Like,
I'm telling you, they can't put you in a box.
My kids are playing him now, and they're saying, "Dad, I said I listened to this when I was your age," and they said, "What? He's that old?" They thought he was new. That's how
his old stuff.
Yeah, that's how still
Like
steady
relevant,
he is. Yeah,
relevant.
Like the
Yeah.
Slim Shady LP.
Yes. My kids are listening.
Well,
to
think about it, man. Like I give him props, man, because he was like the first one to battle with cancel culture.
Yeah.
I mean, people wanted him out.
Yeah.
They did.
Like they went media, they went against like everything, and look at him, he survived that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, that
He
gives me
actually
kind of hope to speak
thrived.
up. Yeah, yeah.
people need to speak up. You'll thrive through speaking up. We're speaking up. This podcast is about speaking up against fentanyl. I lost my what would have been my son-in-law to a fentanyl overdose. My daughter found him dead in his bed on September 11th.
Sorry to hear that.
And we decided that, man, we're I already owned rehabs. We decided to do a podcast to force change at the highest level. So people are going to hear our voice. We're not going to stop until everybody hears our voice. And that's the deal. We got guys, but this podcast is not like a boring addiction podcast. It's like today, right now, this podcast we're talking about music and what goes on in the music industry, and just having a good time and good conversation.
Yeah, and I definitely want to talk about that too. That's why I want to talk about it, because I know there's a lot of talented addicts, and some of them are in recovery, and there is a lot of us out there. You can recover and go into this field. Yeah. And a lot of people are scared of that. I remember early recovery for me, people would say, how are you gonna do the music with so much drugs being around? And it's like, bro, it's possible. I've seen guys do it.
Yeah.
So and fentanyl I lost my brother-in-law. He was doing heroin, and pretty sure he was obviously doing fentanyl, because there's not really heroin out there that much no more. So I'm about this, and I want to get the message out, and it's out there. It's crazy because let's go back to music too. Gangster rap and music in that time was talking about being a drug dealer. Now it's about being a drug user.
Yeah.
Right.
It's completely changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's like the dude's getting high on a supply. They don't even sell it. Now it's like it's the whole thing's changing,
which is actually not good.
Yeah.
Because it's like making it okay to be a drug addict.
Yeah.
And it's not okay I'm a drug addict. I'm in recovery.
Yeah.
He's a recovered. We like to call him recovered because he doesn't do he does his own program. Yeah. It's called the Shane
program.
Shane program.
Yeah, God first though.
Yeah, God first.
God first.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I met a guy had over 30 years, and he had no higher power.
Really?
So there's different things. I've seen it all.
Whatever works is
what. But one thing I did have a conversation with him, and I would say he's more Christian than a lot of Christians that I know. He actually takes guys home and showers them, and not showers him.
No, we don't.
Lets him stay on his couch. He lets them stay on the couch and stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, you let them stay on your couch?
Yeah.
That's next level recovery.
Not like Russell Brand's podcast or whatever that video he did where he brought home that
He really didn't like when we showered together. Yeah. He got offended when I bathed with him.
Yeah,
weird.
Dude, he left after we took a bath together. Yeah, but I would leave too, Russell.
Oh, wow.
Russell Brand?
Yeah.
He's crazy. He's really smart, but he's out there.
Yeah, he's out there. He's smart though.
He's very smart.
Fucking really smart.
He's in recovery.
Yeah.
He's starting to call out the insanity that's going on in this world. So, not to the extreme that Jordan Peterson is. He's but you got to be Jordan Peterson. He can back up everything he says with logic.
Yeah. He reads. He knows his stuff. His books are great.
Yeah. So with that Ben Shapiro, him too. He's fighting the woke community.
Ben Shapiro.
Look up Ben Shapiro.
Got a really good podcast.
Really good podcast.
On
intellectual guy with a little
black-haired guy, smaller. Yeah, intellectual guy. He's always at schools, universities.
Jewish.
Yes.
Jewish.
100,000 a gig.
Yeah, they got this whole thing called the Daily
Wire.
The Daily Wire.
Yeah. Is that Ben Shapiro?
Yeah, right there.
There he is.
Really smart guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he needs to. Is that him with the little beardy beard? He needs to grow that back out. He looks the most handsome that way. Doesn't he? Yeah. Don't you think? I need to give him some style.
He looks super young, dude. Super young.
I think he is. He's not very old.
He looks like he would be on that show, like The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Like super nerd. It's good stuff. Hey, we're in everything, man, and everyone's speaking up, and it's good. And it's good.
Yeah,
it's the music, it's the entertainment world, everybody, and it's just as long as it gets the message out, man. I don't know what though. They're cutting fetty on everything.
Everything.
I mean, I remember getting a phone call while I was in Vegas at a wedding, and the 5 people were sharing a bag, and it had Fetty in it, and that's not what they do. Yeah. And these people love to do blow.
Yeah. And
next thing you know, their blow was cut with Fetty. And
it's they're all dead.
No, they actually survived.
Shit.
Yeah, thank God.
That is what's happening. It's cut with cocaine. I mean, some people are actually doing cocaine and dying.
Yeah, you got the press pills now.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what
you had some cases in Fullerton, Hollywood happen with females, young girls, you know. And sometimes it's them trying the drug for the first time.
That's what we talk about here all the time.
It's crazy, bro.
It's not the addicts dying. There are addicts dying, but a lot of times it's not addicts. It's like me and you going to a party in high school for our first party. We're
I get
drinking,
what you're saying. Yeah,
we're drinking with the.
It's not the daily user. It's the one that's like, I'm just trying to do it this weekend.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah. Dead. Fucked up.
It's 300 people a day. That's last year's statistics. 120 people died from fentanyl poisoning, is what you know. You know Mike Fiore.
Mike Fiore, yeah.
Yeah. So I bought into his fentanyl poisoning theory. I love it because like there's no safe illicit dose of illicit fentanyl. Dose. There's no safe dose of illicit fentanyl.
Yeah.
None. Nobody should be taking it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's in everything. And you know, we go out. We went out and we were talking to some homeless people, and the girl's like, you know, she's smoking fentanyl right there in front of us, and she's like, "There's no more heroin on the streets."
Yeah,
she said it disappeared like 2 years ago, gone.
Yeah, and that's why I said what I said when I talked about my brother-in-law. Like, I'm pretty sure they weren't doing fucking heroin anymore.
Yeah. Right.
These guys are doing Fetty. That's it.
And they call it Fetty.
Fentanyl.
Is the guy who's the rapper Fetty Wap? Does he? Like
I don't even know. I stay away from that genre. Yeah, there's certain genres I don't touch.
Yeah,
yeah. That's usually like that genre specifically. Like this trap rap is like the ones that are like almost glamorizing.
Right.
This drug use. Where I'm a drug addict.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and see, here's the thing with the old gangster rap, and they were talking about, you know, being a drug dealer. You know, maybe we weren't drug dealers, but we were driving down the freeway, you know, maybe coming home from work feeling like a drug dealer, you know. But I don't want to be driving home thinking, shit, I can go pick up some fentanyl right now. Yeah. I really don't, man.
And I think it was. I mean, growing up in the neighborhoods I grew up in, those were the dudes that were making it.
Yeah.
Sadly, I mean, they're entrepreneurs.
For a little while, anyway. Oh, really smart.
Super smart, entrepreneurial.
Man. Super smart.
I mean, a lot of the dudes that I know, like, I mean,
just take away the violence, they'd be living forever.
Yeah,
but they couldn't stop the violence.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm one of those ones in that boat. You know, like I changed my entrepreneurship from drug dealing to music. I was selling records out of my car, just like Too Short was, and like that's the era I grew up with.
Right.
You know, it's where you were, you know, flipping. Yeah. You know, and I mean, I knew I was never gonna become a Scarface. I'm a kid from the barrio. You know what I mean? I just wanted to get buy myself some pair of shoes and not have to work for the man. And I would probably go work for the man for 6 months and then flip that and then live off that for a minute. I mean, definitely you're not like balling, but that's the music. That was the soundtrack to it. Like I used to sell bags on the block to dead presidents from Jay-Z. I'm out the presidents to represent me. Yeah. And it was like an anthem, you know? And like not only that, I knew guys too that were making legal money and they loved that song too because it's like, I got that money representing me. And it's like, it was a different kind of hype.
Right.
And this new hype, I'm a drug addict, there's nothing good about it. And like, I mean, the music's kind of like...
Yeah, but even the sex talking music nowadays for the teenagers or for the 11,
females,
12-year-old, for the females, it's kind of crazy too.
They make Little Kim look like she was actually PG.
I know. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. My daughter's playing music in the back seat and she's words coming. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. WAP and all that stuff. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's next.
Mean?
Wet ass pussy?
Yeah.
Wet ass pussy.
Yeah.
God damn.
Is it the kid's fault or the parents' fault?
No, it's the kids. I don't listen to that shit.
No.
I'm top 40.
You let your kid listen to it.
No, I never. They got Spotify. They got their,
Well, yeah, everyone's got access to it.
everyone's, yeah.
I mean, fuck, man. I don't know. That's like a choice of checking.
Yeah.
It's intense. Like I'm saying, like a lot of these females are making Little Kim look like she was PG.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Absolutely.
Like, and that's all it is. Super sexualized. For the men, it's about drugs. It's fucking Peter Pan syndrome all day.
It's crazy.
Just people want to be young forever. And my debate too with this, man, is like with addiction and the homeless, man, it's how are you going to stop rebellion? Because most of these fucking kids, that's what it is. It's just I'm a rebel. Because like there is a lot of help out there. Like there's, you can get food stamps. I mean, even AA. Like if you come into an AA or NA meeting or a church, man, they'll feed you. They'll buy you a coffee. But they built so many buildings in LA too to have the homeless community go in, but they don't want to live there because of the rules. So it's not really that we're not helping them. It's that they don't really want to help themselves. And that's the thing about I've learned. You can't show humility and willingness. It has to come from within. And sadly, that comes with a good ass beating.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about physical. Sometimes it's life just giving you a good ass beating. And like for us, in addiction, like we know that.
I know.
Like my ass beating wasn't jail. Been there, but it wasn't that. That wasn't the big changer. Being kicked out of the house. Wouldn't say homeless, but kicked out of the house. That wasn't a big changer. For me, it was mental health, depression, anxiety, becoming panic attacks, and then my liver starting to fail. Because I'm a bourbon drinker and I drink a bottle a day, sometimes two if there's Coke, and there's always Coke.
Always Coke.
And I'm not talking about Coca-Cola.
Oh, I was.
I like
Oh, you were going to have a bourbon and Coke?
Bourbon and Coca-Cola.
No, he was talking about bourbon and a good
I
Coke.
got you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, my story goes, I was like almost beat into submission physically and mentally because I kind of had made peace with like jail's a part of it. Getting kicked out's a part of it. Losing your job's a part of it. And around my environment, it's super normal. So like if I would have just stayed there, to tell you the truth, I'd still be getting high and no one would have thought anything about it. And that's probably because I come from a toxic ass environment.
Yeah.
Because that's where I came from. But once I'm like 26 years old walking to the doctors and I got a back pain and he's like, yo, bro, your levels are high.
Death is coming.
Yeah, like your liver's not going to see 40. What are you doing? I was like, I only drink on the weekends though. Yes. And so like for me, my story is if I do drink, I do die. Like I eventually end up at the hospital again with an inflamed liver and I will die of cirrhosis. I haven't been able to not drink a bottle of Jack since I was like, I don't know, 23. I just been at a bottle for a while and like functioning at what? Because technically I'm not functioning to go to work. Like I said, I was a flipper. I just flipped. Any hustle I can get my hand on. I fucking sold clothes at one point. Would go to downtown LA, get Dickies, Levi's for a low price and sling them out of my car.
Yeah.
I always had that entrepreneurial mindset. So I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with this. I'm just saying like.
You're going with early recovery. What happened to you? Like how bad it got?
Oh yeah, for sure. And then for me, it was like my depression, which alcohol's a depressant. Anxiety attacks becoming panic attacks.
We all suffer from that shit.
Dude.
Those are real.
Yeah, and like I remember when I got clean and sober, like my homie was like, I didn't even know you had a problem. I mean, that's how normal drinking was for everyone around me. Like, oh, but they don't know that like after 2, when the bar closes, I'm going home and I got a fucking gram to myself and a bottle and I'm just drinking till the sun comes up.
Yeah.
And I'm miserable.
Yeah.
Like these fools knew how to stop. They would go like, it's Christmas, bro. I'm going to the families. I literally spent a couple Christmases at strip clubs. I'm not super proud of that. But like there was nowhere else to go. I mean, like, you got to remember there was other women there too. So it's like, damn, I guess I'm not the only fucked up one. But like that's like where my life was. And I hadn't made peace with that. But I just couldn't make the peace with the liver failure. And I couldn't make peace with the the depression, like once you start not wanting to wake up and live, it's just like, that was my rock bottom. And I think that's the message I want to leave here. It's like, not all of us had to be homeless. Right. Not all of us had to go to jail. I mean, the first 100 members of Alcoholics Anonymous were rock bottom drunks. But ever since then, no one has to ever hit that, because you can see them as an example of where you'll go. And it talks about that in the 12 and 12. And I'm not trying to like speak literature, but like, I like the literature. Like, I like books, period. I've been reading since I was 8. That's another thing. Like, even though I'm a fucking degenerate criminal and drug addict, I like to read. So I picked up a lot of books, and I love the literature more than I love the groups itself. And because I feel like you lose your individuality when you join groups. Friedrich Nietzsche, you know what I mean? And I'm still a firm believer in that. So I love their literature, and it does, and it says it in there, and I believe it to be 100% true. It's just, no one has to go to that length. You don't have to go to jail to know you have a problem. You can, one of us older folk or old time or whatever that is, let you know, like, oh yeah, you're going down that way. Let me guess, you got a homeboy, and he's got this, and it's like, my uncle already would do that. Like, my uncle's not a member of any 12-step group or church, and he could already call shit out. Yeah. He's like, you know your little homo right there? 6 months, he'll be locked up. Right. Bam, 6 months. I'm like, yo, Theo, are you like a wizard or something? And he's like, nah, dude. It's like, I see it. Yeah. Christians would like to call it discernment.
Yeah, discernment.
Discernment, yeah. Discernment. And like, it's just that you can call things out because of experience. And why not listen to somebody above you? And that's, I was desperate. Like, my depression, my panic attacks, anxiety, I was so fucking desperate. I would have listened to anybody. Any fucking cult, anything. I would have been like, yo, you guys got a solution?
Right.
Shoot it.
I just love that a guy like this from his neighborhood, tough. You know what I'm saying? Slinger could talk like this today. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Saving people.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Faces all tatted up. I mean, this is nice talk.
Yeah. And I think that's what I got to see. Like, there's a lot of us out there, man. Like, a lot of these dudes, like, they had that, like, distorted mindset. Like, a lot of those great books that I read when I was younger, guess where I picked them up from? Older heads that were coming out of prison. Right. They had a lot of good knowledge, but I don't think it's knowledge, it's application. Like, I work in treatment now, and I have like clients that come up on their second, third time in treatment, or maybe like their 20th rehab. And I'm like, bro, by this time it's not knowledge. By this time it's application.
Yeah, it works.
Faith without works is dead, the Christians would say. Yeah. Like, if you are not embodying your ideologies, chances are you're not a believer of it. So it's like, it's embodying it. It's not like Marcus Aurelius, man. Like, I like his stuff. It's not just speaking it, it's being it.
Yeah, living it.
Yeah, so like, that's what I want to be. Attraction, not promotion, like the 12-steppers would say. You see, so I get little wisdom from everywhere, and it's like all these books, like the Stoics, man, like Stoic philosophy. That stuff's good. So I don't know. It's just like, I guess what I'm trying to like say is like I hope that if you're out, that people are out there, they just don't think it's like, it's lack of will. It's like, it's more than, and it's not just abstinence. Like, for me, it wasn't just staying sober, because I'd done that before. I've been sober without a program for 6 months. I was sober for a year when I was locked up. When my son was born, I was sober for 8 months, but I didn't have what I have today, which is recovery. And the definition of recovery is healed, or to find what you lost. And not till I started implementing stuff from the program as it's directed, and saw that, like, oh shit, there's some patterns here. Like, I was a criminal, liar, cheater, and a thief before I ever put a substance in my body.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, I could have seen the county jail, the penitentiary, without drugs ever touching my body. Yeah. Because in my environment, we already had normalized the hustle. Right. I was already a fucking degenerate before I ever put a drug. It's delusional for me to think, because I stopped doing a substance, my life's going to get better. Because if it was about abstinence, my mom's life would be amazing. Amazing. My mom's never touched a drug in her life. I got a couple homies that are straight edge. Their lives are not fucking amazing. It's about dealing with the behavior and the internal stuff.
Yeah, the mental stuff.
Yeah, so for me, it was like validation,
Yeah.
fucking resentments, self-pity. I grew up in a fucking neighborhood where we hate the man, we hate the cops. I mean, the music speaks about it. And I stopped like putting it on their fucking plate and started putting it on my own plate. It's taking responsibility and being like, nah, homie, like, let's do something about it. And that's when my life started changing.
Right.
So, I don't know, yeah. And I see that in a lot of the guys. But it's just taking responsibility. And no one wants to do that.
They don't. That's a lot of people don't want to take responsibility, even just like normal people, man. But you know, you start taking responsibility. Especially, I like what you said about like taking responsibility for the internal stuff. You stop playing the victim and becoming the survivor. You can really work that shit out, and like when you work all of that stuff out, you can really start moving forward in life because you no longer have like roadblocks, you know, things that are stopping you from taking that next step. Like the best thing we can do is face our fears on a daily basis, you know, whatever that is. Like I get scared to do shit all the time. I mean, you have a very outgoing personality, but when you first like grabbed your band and you went and you never played a gig before, were you nervous?
Hell yeah.
But excited at the same time. But you face that fear of getting out there. Because I'm sure, like, everybody's got to think that your first gig, right?
Yeah.
What if the crowd fucking thinks I suck?
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah.
But
and what is it? Jordan Peterson says the dragon is protecting the gold, but you must slay the dragon.
Yeah.
Because on the other side of the dragon is the gold. Like, what was it? Will Smith said it in a video. On the other side of fear is the greatest life ever.
Yeah.
And like, I believe that to be true. And I think that's what I learned in recovery. I had to finally open the door that I've been avoiding for so many years.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Jordan Peterson says this too. If you have something to say it. Because if not, it's your own fault for not saying it. And like, that's why like today I just say it, man. I'm like, I'm not with that no more, dog. Yeah. And like, I don't want to lose my individuality to be a part of your fucking group, bro. Right. I want to do the right fucking thing. When I was locked up, I would have to take flight on fucking people that I never wanted to really hear. I was just having a coffee with this Wood a day ago, bro, talking about the Misfits.
Yeah.
Now shit's popping off because someone pissed in someone's toilet.
Right. And
all of a sudden I got to put hands on this dude, but I can't speak up. And that's the thing about the word serenity. I mean, the serenity prayer has courage in it. Because it's going to take fucking courage to be in recovery. It's going to take courage to be an individual. Like, if I would have spoke up that day and, like, I'm not going to hit homeboy. Like, he didn't do nothing. It's like, let's handle the dude that pissed in the fucking toilet. Right. And it's like, nah, it's popping off. Us with the Woods. And it's like, oh, shit. I'm like, no. Let's run it. And, like, you know, and I'm using that as an example just because, like, that's the moment where you got to practice courage.
That fucking was awesome, bro. That's
but what are you going to do? Like, go against the whole
right
group? Like, you know what I mean? Like, nah.
No, because then you're the guy in the back room getting fucking stomped.
And that was a lot of part of my life.
Yeah.
And the guys I grew up with.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't speak up.
No.
And I'm just suppressing so much shit. Start becoming like a sociopath.
Everyone was, though.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody was.
It's like,
but that's why so many of those people stay in that revolving door.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And you're not there anymore. Because you started speaking up. Maybe not there, but when you got out.
Yeah.
And you were ready to do something different with your life, you know? And now you can speak up. You can say whatever the fuck you want, dude. Because those guys in there can't do anything. Like, maybe show those guys that
and
you can.
And it's all in here, though. it's all fucking in here. That's what I realized.
It's the silliest thing ever. Yeah. You know how many of those people that are in there could be out here doing amazing things with their lives and making this world a fucking better place?
It's fucking tribalism.
So many of those people in there are actually really talented, good human beings.
Strong, smart.
Strong, smart.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's not easy to go in there.
And that's who I'm trying to come back and save. Yeah. Like, I'm not, I don't know. Like, if I get a touch the kid from suburbia, I'm down. Yeah. The dude at the treatment center. But man, do I want to help
the neighborhood?
I want to help the neighborhood. Yeah. I want to go back and like, I want to tell these kids like, nah, man, I want to fucking
go with them.
Yeah. Like we can get out of this, bro. We can get out of that state of mindset of being a slave.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I didn't wear red for years.
Yeah.
And this is gonna sound stupid. Like someone in some other fucking state, like people in the culture will understand this. I wasn't able to wear red my whole fucking life.
Right.
When I got in recovery, I bought my first red jumpsuit, like Adidas suit.
Yeah.
And I wore that shit. And I remember for like a month, bro.
You're scared?
Like, no. When I was scared, the first time I wore it, I'm not gonna lie, there was fear.
You see, I knew it. Yeah, of course.
And then there was a couple of homeboys that would be like, "What's up with that?" And then I was like, "It's just a color, bro." And then it was like liberating after a while when then everyone starts embracing it. And then it was really good when I start seeing another brother
wearing it.
He's got like some red kicks, and I'm like, "What's up with those?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, dog, it's just a color." And I'm like, "That's what I'm fucking talking about." And like, even though that sounds fucking stupid to somebody maybe in some other country or in some other state or some city where like it's just a color,
Right.
like, dude, colors get kids killed every fucking day in California and in other states.
That's fucked up.
And I just got tired of stuff like that, and I was like, that's one little thing I want to change more. I want to like entrepreneurial. You're an entrepreneur, then let's tap into that, bro. Let's tap into that. And like whenever I get a help guys, sponsor dudes, or even be there to mentor, it's like some of these guys, all they've been is warriors. I'm like, so what does this mean? I'm gonna have to drop the sword? It's like, nah, bro. That just means you're just gonna have to play defense, not more offense. Like, you're still gonna be a fucking warrior. Right. Because trust me, you're still gonna need that courage. But Meek, like it says, Jordan Peterson says, I love what he says about Meek. Meek is having the ability
to kill.
And the skill to kill, but holding back on it.
Yeah.
I know I'm a good man, not because I say I'm a good man. Right. Because I got the ability to pull the blade out of my pocket and go straight to the jugular and like literally co-sign like I killed you for my family kind of shit. But it's like today I choose not to. And that makes me feel like a good human being. Like I know I could have like just jumped over the counter and just
He said Jordan Peterson says you should be a monster.
Monster.
And then you should learn how to control that monster.
Oh yeah. I love that.
Men shouldn't be weak.
No. We shouldn't.
Men should not be weak. You should be a monster.
Yeah.
And then you learn how to control that
Control
monster.
the killer.
And I love bringing him up a lot. Like him and Goggins, bro. I love them. Yeah. Like I love their message.
And you know what's cool about the two of them? When it comes to like political stuff, I think they're divided, but they both carry such an amazing message of like just truth, you know, and this country's so divided. It's insanity, right? So we've talked about this a little bit on the podcast too, because the fentanyl crisis needs to bring us back together, and I'm hoping that a movement like this can bring Americans back together for a common cause, because we're so like the government has got us so divided, and divided we're weak, divided they can conquer us, but united they can't. And I like the fact that the two of these guys, because you just talked about two of my favorite, I don't know what you call them, motivational speakers. I don't think of Jordan Peterson as a motivational speaker. Yeah. I think of him as just I don't even know what category I put him in.
Intellectual motivational speaker or whatever.
Intellectual stoic philosopher.
Philosopher.
Stoic, for sure.
Now, Goggins, I think of as a motivational speaker, but a badass.
Yeah.
You know, he's the guy that when I need to go the extra mile in the gym, or I need to get up at 3 a.m. in the morning and I don't want to, he's the guy that tells me that's just what you do now.
He's the definition of stoic.
Yeah.
He literally is the definition of stoic. It's like, fuck your feelings.
Yep.
Get shit done.
Yep.
And it's like, you're right.
You're right.
And there's so much right in that.
I don't care how you feel.
Yeah.
Just get up and do it.
And he talks about like, don't be a theorist, be a practitioner. And I love that shit because I feel like there's too much fucking people today too in entitled positions.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I know this, so I should be the one leading. And it's like, nah.
No, you probably
he's the one
shouldn't.
should be leading because he's the one that's actually embodying everything that you're just talking about. Right. And that's what I like about Goggins. Like, he doesn't only tell you to run, he fucking runs 15 fucking miles.
50
every fucking
or 500.
like yeah,
Fuck the 15. Shit.
every day though.
Well,
Every day.
Every 15.
Every day. 15 every day.
15
Yeah.
every day.
Every day. Yeah.
And then he's done all this stuff, and he's done it, and he's done it, and I respect that. I respect men that do things, and like going back to like in my neighborhood, it was always about tribalism, right? And I feel like even like that, like coming back into now, it's like bringing all the tribes together for the same cause. Like if fucking aliens came and they were gonna like Independence Day, we would finally have something to battle together with. This is what fentanyl is.
Yeah.
Like, why don't
I
we just
agree.
get the AAers, the NAers, the Christians, the treatment centers all together and stop worrying about egos and self-gain and be like, yo, let's freaking work together, bro.
Yes.
The Mikes, the Faustos, the Hopeaholics, everybody coming into one event. And like today we have the power with the internet being free and all these channels that we just said, like YouTube, to bring a big ass event.
Yep.
And then,
That's part of all of our goals. Like we've talked about this with Mike. I had Mike so fired up, and then who was the last guy? Alika. Alika was about ready to fucking bolt out the door that day. He was like, because I like got fired up, like we're because like I can put on a suit. I know how to sit in front of Congress. I have no problem doing that. Like I'm a chameleon.
Yeah.
I also was the same kind of homeless as you. Not shopping cart homeless, but like fucking, trying to sell the fucking some bags.
Yeah.
And chilling at the Colton Inn down in San Bernardino.
Yeah.
And I know how to, I've been there, but I also know how to go up there.
yeah.
Like I had to learn how to go up there.
Yeah.
I had to learn that by building my businesses and becoming a businessman and changing my mindset.
Yeah.
But it's like guys like you. It's guys like that you guys, because you guys speak really well, and it's me taking guys like you, to guys like Mike, guys like Alika up there and being like, hey, this is what's going on in the streets. This is what's going on. What are you guys gonna do? And we have to bring, like you just said, we have to bring all the AAers, the NAers, the Christians, the families who have lost loved ones.
Yeah.
I'm already at 50 million right now when I just add those people, the people that are still out on the streets.
Yeah.
Because they have cell phones too. They should be following our shit. Who doesn't have a cell phone
Everyone
anymore?
has one.
Everyone.
Everybody.
There's no fucking excuse now.
No, there's no
There
excuse.
isn't.
I will say
We
that.
can fill a stadium.
a
Easy.
stadium every fucking month, dude. You just, and have these big ass events and we'll start making noise. You know? Is all I got left. This is my last life push. And my first life push was pretty fucking successful, I will say. Yeah. I will toot my own horn on that.
Toot away, baby.
Toot it, man.
Like I built it from nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. I built a very successful organization that owns and or operates 6 different treatment centers with 250 beds, and I still it's right here. My executive team is right here in this building. And they're boss ladies, and then Peter, right? I got MDs, master's level people. My parents are still chilling. They still, come in on Saturday and cheering from the sidelines. And my dad's a retired physician. My mom's a nurse. My sister's a nurse. I mean, we're going after them.
Yeah.
We are coming.
And that's hope, bro.
Yeah.
That's hope.
Like
that's
we're coming. Like I want to give if I could say something to the families out there, it's hope. I want the families who have lost a loved one, because we lost a loved one. Like my daughter is fucked up. She's struggling with life right now, and it's been 7 months, and I want to offer her hope that, like, and all of the families hope that we're coming. That their kids, their loved ones, their death isn't in vain. We're gonna force change at the highest level. I like that. What's that one guy? We're gonna do his podcast. In
Black-haired guy?
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, with the little scruffy beard.
He says, I'm coming.
I'm coming.
He says, everybody, what does he say exactly? He says, everybody in front of me better be working.
Yeah.
Because I'm coming.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like, I'm coming. I'm coming for their number one spot, their number one. And it's not about the fact that I even give 2 shits about being the number one podcast. I want to be the number one podcast because the number one podcast should be a podcast that's going to fucking affect this world and make change and change people's lives and change our country, change the world. Yeah. Like, I get it. Joe Rogan's cool as fuck. I love listening to his podcast. He has amazing people on there. But until I'm in his spot, like, when I am in his spot, like, I'm going to be going after, you know, this world. And he does. Yeah. He does. He goes out and speaks his mind, and he's not about this woke lifestyle and all this crazy stuff, and he says what he needs to say, and I agree with a lot of stuff that he says, but like, this is a crisis. 300 people are dying every single day, and that to me is like an airplane going down every single day. And if an airplane crashed every single day, the government would fucking shut down all airplanes. We wouldn't be flying until they figured out the problem. Well, this is happening, and it's not 300 addicts and alcoholics dying a day. Like you said, it's young kids. It's your sister, it's your brother. Yeah. It's your mom. Yeah. You know, it's your soccer mom. Yeah. Who's trying to pill for the first time. Yep. Maybe it's your dad who went out on a business trip, who, you know, he drinks a little bit and he decided to do a line of coke. I mean, that shit's happening. Yeah. It's not people like, I mean, it is people like us too. Yeah. But we're actually those people too. Simon. You know? I like that. He said that in Spanish. Simon. Simon. That's right. Did you know what he said when he said that?
No fucking clue. Huh? No fucking clue. Simon. No Spanish where I grew up.
No?
French.
Oh yeah, Canadian.
More Ukraine, more European. You know, more European.
Yeah, how was it growing up?
He goes, oh yeah, you're Canadian. When he says stuff like that, you're like, how come you weren't like, don't say it like that?
I didn't even know. You
know? No. Hey, so how was it growing up in Canada?
Same as here, bro. Painful.
Oh shit.
I feel like it.
There's pain everywhere, bro.
Yeah, I know Vancouver's had a fucking heroin whole thing for a while. Like a couple documentaries I watched. I mean, they even give you the kits. Yeah. I mean, you guys are all doing that up there, like the controlled use,
like they're doing in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Just watched some guy's Instagram story where he went into this place in San Francisco to try to get help, and he was sober. He was just going in to check it out. He went in to go try to get help, and what he walked out with was a box full of syringes, all the kit, everything you needed. And I'm talking like not just 20 syringes, like a box of 100, plus all the other shit that you need, saline, all this stuff. I was like, holy fuck, that's what they're doing up in San Francisco right now?
It's crazy.
That's the solution to your drug epidemic? Like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. It's because there's so many organizations, and I think their whole agenda is different. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know.
It's called harm reduction, but it's a very harmful.
Fuck.
It's not a solution to the problem. And I kind of sometimes feel like the reason why they're doing this is because if you keep people down enough, you have sheeps. When you have too many lions. And that's what I want to create. I like that one guy. He says, I'm in the business of creating motherfuckers. Yeah. I'm in the business of creating. Yeah. I hope that when people start to listen to our podcast and really listen to it, that they realize that they're all able to, you know, they don't have to follow societal norms. We can be our own individual people. We can be lions, not sheep. Yeah, maybe I can get a sponsor from that.
It's like
company.
What he's talking about. Being individual.
Did you hear me?
No, say it.
I said maybe I could get a sponsor from Lions Not Sheep. It's a clothing brand.
Well, there's so many fucking people dependent, like in the rooms. And it's like the program's not supposed to make you dependent on the rooms.
No,
it's not even supposed to make you dependent on your sponsor. It's supposed to make you dependent on a higher power. By that time, you got the source already. You got the plug. Yeah, you're already the richest man in the motherfucking room. But some people are scared of that shit. Yeah. Some leaders are. Like, they're not real leaders. Right. Because they still need you. They're the ones, man, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it. Like, growing up Catholic, like, most of the people around me only knew whatever the pastor said, the padre. Right. Like, I learned to go straight to the source. Yeah. You know, like,
I go straight to the source because he's, can I say it?
Go ahead.
Can I say it?
Sure.
Shane's Jewish. So
Oh,
he doesn't.
dude.
He skips straight. He
I
skips,
go right to
he
the-
goes straight to the
Right
Father.
to the God.
Yeah.
Right to the God.
Right to the God.
Right to the God.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? It's just going to the source. That's why for me, it's literature.
Yeah.
Right?
Literature.
Like fucking Friedrich Nietzsche's 1800s, bro. Literature.
Literature.
Why? Because that's where it's at.
That's it.
That's where it's at.
That's it.
And it shows the
That's
discipline.
education.
Because like
Yeah.
I give a guy a book, 300 pages. Are you willing to read that? Because I will tell you one thing. After you read these 300 fucking pages, you'll never be the same.
Yeah.
And that right there is fucking power.
Yeah.
And that's why people are scared. Educate them.
Yeah. You got to give him power.
You gotta give 'em
people
power.
man.
And that's what like even when I'm like walking a guy through the steps, I'm like, yo, bro, I'm just gonna give you some fucking power. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna have to be here anymore.
Yeah.
You just gotta know how to make, like, you gotta get the discernment, bro. And like usually it's always for me when I'm working for myself too, what it was the fourth step. The fourth step of the 12 steps, right? It's like you start writing stuff down. Fears, resentments, people you've hurt, people you've had sex with. And what I saw on that list was cool, which I kind of still to this day love, is I got to see patterns in myself. And I got to take ownership. It was like what David Goggins would call the accountability mirror. And then you got to finally see it, and then you're like, oh, shit, 10% was life, 90% was my reaction to it. So if I could change my fucking reaction to shit, I can change anything.
Yep.
And that was empowering to me. And then by that time, I'm like, whatever, dog. I get what you guys were saying.
right.
Like, this is where the solution's at for me.
Yeah.
It's just so personal. And that's why for me, I figured out it was behavioral. It had nothing to do with alcohol. Had nothing to do with coke. Had everything to do with my mindset.
Right. Yep.
And it's practicing meek when I walk by a car and the window's down. Like, no, don't do the first thing you think because I know what it is.
Yep.
Go in that motherfucker, clean it out, and get the fuck out of here. And then hawk that shit.
Is that your first thought?
No.
It's not?
No.
It's not?
No.
So if you see a car running at the
running.
gas,
I always look in, who's in there? What can I steal? Yeah, I think it's everyone's first thought.
I don't know. It's not.
Isn't it?
No. My mom does not think that. If my mom sees a car running, she's worried that somebody's going to steal the car, and she's probably going to sit there and wait for the owner.
Wow.
Because but my first thought is if there's a car running, like say the guy ran into the gas station real quick. Yeah. My first thought is, man, I could just throw a little something at that window, like a little piece of spark plug at that window, break the window, and I'm out of here. Yeah. His car's still running. That's my first thought. But I have a motto or what do you call it? Mantra. First thought, wrong.
Yeah.
Second thought is still questionable. you need to question your second thought
For sure.
And you know what? Like I actually I don't need to run shit by my sponsor.
Yeah.
Because if I'm questioning my thought, then it's probably wrong.
Yeah.
If I have to go like, hey, sponsor, do you think it's a good idea for me to jump in this car that's running? Well, the person, and he's like, no, you fucking idiot. Like, I already knew the answer to that.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. From doing a lot of them, I already got the discernment. You're going to get pinched eventually.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Guaranteed. So, like, it just doesn't come as much anymore, and that comes with, like muscle memory, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, do I still think that all the time? No, but there's still things that come up. There's still things. And it's just like, it's like the big book. I'm talking about the Bible. It's like mostly just prohibitions, and everyone's got different prohibitions that they got to do. Like, what is a sin to me isn't a sin to you, and it's probably because you just don't feel that in your heart. But like for me, I know thanks to that step, I know what I got. I know what's wrong with me. Yeah. I go towards violence, and I go towards escape, and I go towards pleasure, instant gratification, and I just got to measure it through that for myself, and that's it. Like I'm not telling you, like, not because I'm eating a healthier meal, I'm gonna fucking tell you what to eat. You go ahead and eat whatever the hell you want, bro. This is for me, and that's where I try to be at, wherever people are doing that, and I like that. I don't know. It's for me, it's better this way, and I'm not religious either, so I'm not really worried about heaven or hell because I already lived hell out here. I'm just not trying to live it again.
Right.
So that's why I do the right thing. You know, it's because it feels better too. I don't gotta stay up at night and have that guilty conscience and shit. So I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that's changed in my life, and it's all fucking positive, man. And I don't know where I'm fucking going from here on. but I know it's just forward.
Yeah.
You know, taking responsibility. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
Good shit, though.
Yeah,
man.
really good shit. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all God.
Yeah.
It's all God, man.
Yep.
So what? You read the Torah?
Torah, yeah.
Torah.
Yeah.
All right.
Back in the olden days.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I like about Jewish, because it's like it is. It's like do right and be right.
Yeah. And just read.
And just read. That's
Read.
right. And
Don't be violent and read.
Old Testament is fucking fire.
Yeah, it is. It really
I mean,
is. It's like the first, 6 books?
Yeah.
I think the first six,
Yeah.
6 books.
I mean, the first one of the guys that I got financial advice from when I was doing my financial amends, because I started studying like Dave Ramsey and a bunch of dudes. One of them was a rabbi,
Yeah.
and he used a story of I think it's Joshua, when he was a pharaoh in Egypt. I think it's the dreamer, the one with the dreams that has the dreams, and he has that dream where it's like the cows, and there's gonna be food, and then there's not gonna be food for
Shortages, and
for
he
7 years. So
And
it's
then
like
he saves the grain.
save.
Saves
So
the
that's
grain.
like he's using that story to show how. And then another thing that the rabbi was talking about is how they like to keep the money in house.
Yeah.
And I like that. I mean, I even still do that. I mean, we do that in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and I still do that with guys that I know. I'm like,
Of course.
well, you know what I mean?
Still
I'm
do
like,
that to this day.
yeah, keep it in house.
Always.
Network
Always.
changes our net worth. So I like, hey, I
If you're going up, you're taking 3 with you.
that's
That's
right.
the thing. You're never going alone.
Yeah, and Dame Dash showed me that too.
Yeah.
Another guy I was reading, watching his videos too, and he was with Jay-Z at the time
Yeah.
when he was doing all that stuff. So there's a lot of good stuff. That's why I never not listen, man. I'm like a student of life today. I'm taking all that in, so I'm trying to bring that back to the neighborhood. So like when I see a homie like wants to start a new business, maybe a detailing business, I give him what I know. And the
try to
social
explain
media.
I try to explain it when you're walking down the street in New York and you have some guys are screaming at the religious Jews, fuck you, you fucking this, you fucking that. They don't run across the street with a gun. They
No.
go 2 blocks the other way to get to school. That's what we got to bring back to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That if someone's calling you names, you don't got to go pistol whip them or beat them. It's not the point.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Go to school. Make it to school. Don't get killed on the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
It's tough,
It is.
especially when you're brought up in a certain way, cultures. You know,
Growing up Jews, how was that?
hard. You know,
What was your drug of choice?
I was crack.
Crack?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
80s?
I was born 67.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I'm 56 now. Thank you.
Look
Yeah,
good.
that's the first time you ever
Yeah.
told your age on the
Yeah, first
podcast.
time.
Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa.
Better
Here we
bleep,
go.
better bleep that out.
Bleep that out. Jesus Christ.
He's always like, I don't know. What
Tell
does
my
he normally
fucking
say?
age. No one's asked me that before.
What?
No one's asked me how old I am. I've just
He didn't
never-
ask how old you were. He just said you grew up in the 80s.
Oh, that's right. I said no, 67.
That was the year you were born.
Year I was born.
But you were chilling in the 80s, huh?
Chilling like a villain. Yeah, it was good times.
Listening to Judas Priest and
Judas Priest.
who else?
Grandmaster Flash.
Motley Crue,
Motley Crue. Yeah. Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy. Oh,
Yeah.
what about you know who was better though than Ozzy? No, I don't know if it was better. It was Ozzy. But what was his first band called?
Randy Rhoads. That
No.
was Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath.
Oh, come
You know, Black Sabbath had to do with the Seventh-day Adventist religion.
Really?
Yeah. Saturday is the Sabbath day.
Yeah.
You know that,
Love
right?
Ozzy.
Yeah, it's good
Love
stuff,
Ozzy.
man.
Yeah. All that stuff.
Damn.
Yeah, good times, man. Just completely 2 different walks of life you and I come from. You know, I was private school in a basically native, call it Indian area. You know, sometimes it took me half an hour to walk 5 blocks because I had to run and hide. You know, because I was getting chased by different gangs. I had to run
Yeah.
and hide. You know?
That happened in Canada?
Yeah, man. That
Yeah.
was just
Where
life.
was the Canadian
It was
Mounted
life. I mean,
Police?
my house was right there. The school was right across the street. I
Hey?
swear to God. It took
What,
me.
what was the game changer for you?
You know what? I had no satisfaction growing up. I just never felt satisfaction. I was made the best this, I made the best that, but I had no satisfaction until I got into this industry and started helping people. That's what made it all clear for me. Yeah, the money was always easy.
Yeah.
It was always there for me.
So you finally got to see what like the 12 steppers get to do in the 12 step, which is be of service.
Yeah, be of service.
You got to see how it is to be selfless.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I could relate to that.
Yeah.
Because I think everything I've ever done in my whole life was about selfishness.
Yeah.
Like I only did something for you if I was going to get something back.
Right.
I mean, everything in my neighborhood was built off that. It was so, what is it? Conditional love.
Yeah.
Like these fools loved me as long as the conditions were met.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got tired of that shit.
Right.
And then I got tired of the fucking phoniness in it because then I fed into it and then fucking dudes were flipping and not living by it. It's like, so it's cool when you need me, but when I fucking need you,
it's tough.
it's like, fuck it. It's like, I would give up so much parts of my life for this fucking, this ideology. And then like, I would sacrifice like time with family and
for the gang life.
For not even gang life, because I was never a part of a gang. I was more of a criminal.
Yeah.
That's what I try to like make clear too. Like even in like past interviews, I'm like, I was never a part of the gang culture, but I was a criminal, and that criminal mindset kept me a part of that. So I definitely was able to mingle with them.
Yeah.
Right.
But I hated the fact that if you would get in there, you would have to break bread, which was almost a form of like judgment and hierarchy for myself. I'm like, I'm not like you guys though. Yeah. And I was like the middle child. Like in my neighborhood, which was where my hatred come from, walking to the to the liquor store was two fucking enemies for me: gang members and fucking cops. Because the cops think I'm a gang member, and the gang members are gonna hit me up if I'm not from the hood.
Yeah.
Now that's not to say the guys in my neighborhood would do that, but if you're not from the fucking neighborhood, they're gonna think you're from the neighborhood anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
So for me, it was like the first time I carried a gun was to fucking protect myself from both groups. Like straight up. I was like, I'm getting pulled over for fucking being accused of being a gang member. And I'm getting hit up every time I go thinking that I'm from the hood that I live in.
Right.
And it was fucked. It was like I was constantly just fucking shitting good at home. Mom works 2 to fucking 3 fucking jobs. Stepfather lets me know he doesn't fucking love me. You know, I'm out there trying to find it on the streets. But if you want to get in the hood, that's losing individuality. And I was already in the punk rock scene too at the time. So I just like, I don't know. I didn't feed into that. And I felt like killing each other for a neighborhood where we didn't own real estate. It was fucking stupid. I was like super, like I was already thinking like that. This is not something that I just, like I really had that already. I'm like, you guys are fucking killing each other. None of us own anything here. And that's the punk rock side of me, like the political, the isms and shit. I was like, fuck the system, bro. Like this is all a fucking matrix and shit. Like I would just commit crimes to live comfortably under the radar. To be able to like not go to a job.
Yeah.
To be able to hang out at the neighborhood and everyone's like, oh, I got to go to work. Fuck all that, bro. Fucking open a Mickey's. It's like, I'm out here selling. And that was my life. And I almost like was cool. And I remember the first time that I started thinking about recovery was when I started dating white girls outside of my neighborhood, right? And they would take me like to suburbia, Glendale, or like Huntington Beach. And then they're like, yeah, one day. And then you fall in love with this girl, right? In a way, whatever that means. And then she's like, yeah, one day we're going to have like a house and like a white picket fence and you'll drive like a truck and stuff. And then I was like, oh, bitch, you want me to get my life together? You want me to be a part of the matrix and shit? And that was always like me never trying to get out of my comfort zone. I always like stayed afloat. So like I wasn't better than them and I wasn't worse than them, but at the same time I wasn't growing at all. And I think that was another one of my rock bottoms for myself. It was just, I just didn't want to live that way. And I got tired of fucking like constantly just violence and everything around me. So like when I gotta get out, I'm like, I'm staying out. Yeah. Cause there's no solution in it by that time. And like I said,
and what are you doing today, every day?
Today I work out. I'm in a book at least, you know, I'm like, I was doing like a book a month, but like, then I started just doing chapter and chapter of like multiple books.
Yeah. We do Audible books.
You do Audible books?
Yeah.
A ton.
I like to read and highlight.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's not because I like to highlight. It's just that it's
You
just
get,
work.
you get a lot out of that.
Yeah.
If I can do an Audible and go through it at the same time, that's a game changer for me. But since I can't do that, an Audible, I learn best through listening.
Yeah. You know which ones I like too? I like those YouTube videos where they tell you about a book and they break it down in a drawing. That shit sticks too. So I sometimes like read a book and I watch that just to see if I missed anything that I just didn't pick up.
Yeah.
It's almost like having my own teacher.
Yeah.
So
Good stuff.
I do that. I exercise. I work at a Liftoff and they have a gym there. So I use their gym and I got a membership for Golds and
Nice.
I can go there and because of the sauna.
Yeah.
I like the sauna. And I go to meetings. I go to 6 meetings a week. Family day on Friday. I live by like the War of Art book. I don't know if you ever read that book. It's not The Art of War. It's The War of Art.
No.
About Stephen, I think it's Pressfield or something. I think his name is, and he talks.
I read that.
Yeah, and he talks about the amateur and the pro.
Yeah.
The amateur waits for inspiration. The pro starts writing, and the inspiration is awakened. And it's about a writer, and he was in the military. And I practice that on a daily basis. I try to at least write for 30 minutes. 30 minutes to an hour, but by that time I'm picking up the guitar too.
Yeah.
So it's like 30 minutes, write something, 30 minutes, pick up the guitar. People don't know this, and this is just my theory, is I don't really write the songs. The songs write themselves. I just got to be there to catch the ball.
Right.
And that's the pro. Every song I've written was written that way.
That's cool.
So I give myself time to write. Another person that uses that theory too is Steven Spielberg. No, not Steven Spielberg. The guy that wrote It, the book. Stephen King. Stephen King. He was in an interview and he fucking said the same. Like there was another author in the interview with him and he says, "Dude, how the fuck do you write so many books?" He's like, "I wake up every morning and I write from this time to this time. No matter what it is, I write." And that's I've been
puts the puzzle together.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And sometimes it's just like you just start writing and eventually it happens. And I've been doing that. And so that's a part of my routine too. Reading, writing, exercise, meetings, YouTube. I fucking love YouTube. Listening to music.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like most of my routines got nothing to do with people no more.
That's a full day, bro.
Yeah. Like most of my routine got nothing to do with people. I can like actually do time today and not feel like the only thing about doing time though in jail is doing it with people.
Yeah.
I don't think time is a hard thing to do.
Right.
Because you can lock me up in this room for, I don't know, a month. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Leave me with some books though, at least, you know what I mean? And I'll do it. It's the fucking moment you put another fucking 2 guys in here that there's going to be a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Especially if they come from where I came from. With fucking behavioral fucking problems, antisocial behavior, fucking narcissistic, all that shit. Oh no, dude, we're fucking killing each other.
Yeah.
And chances are that I've read enough fucking shit that I'm gonna manipulate the fucking situation way better now. You know, so it's like that kind of like. So I still, you know, like sometimes I'm like, oh, if I would go back to jail, I would fucking be good because of all this information. 48 laws of power, you know. So like so like that. Most of my routine is just that. It's all recovery.
Yeah.
Recovery. It's all internal work. So, and obviously I am married, and I have a kid. So Fridays is not only family day, but it's date night.
Nice.
So after I take out both of them, then I take her out.
Good for you.
So, you know, and working on that. And as I've grown in my recovery, my wife has seen that she needs to work on things herself too. So she has started to hit her own support group.
Nice.
And that's what I suggest to people too. And this is just a suggestion. Like, if you're dating a fucking normie, that normie is eventually going to start figuring out that there's something fucked up with them. Because, I mean, they dated us.
Right.
I mean, who the fuck runs 14 years with me? I mean, first time we got together, I was selling drugs for her boyfriend. She was fucking pretty much picking up drugs from me at the laundromat that I was slanging out of for her and her homegirls. That was 15 years ago. And, I mean, obviously, you know, there was going to be something.
Yeah.
Like, I've put in that woman through situations that I was like, dude, if you were sane, you would have left a long time ago. You know, like picking me up and walking out of a trap pad with a fucking strap and dope. You know, it's just so much situations like, almost stabbing 2 guys in front of a mall and making her accessory to murder. You know what I mean? Cameras on there. And it's like, and my son was in the back seat too, which would have been child endangerment and shit like that. Nothing happened. You know, everything was good. But I learned a valuable lesson. Like, something's got to change. And that was like,
how close you can come, bro.
yeah, and like, it's just like you start seeing that like side of you, and it's like, what the fuck? There's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, like, no substances in the body.
Yeah.
So you don't need substances to fuck up your life.
No, you don't.
You don't. So
No, you can do that without substances.
yeah. So that's just pretty much. And I work in treatment. I'm a facilitator of a group, and most of my groups are just all about that. It's like, I get it. You're here. Do you think you're here because of abstinence, or are you here for recovery? We read out of this book. I suggest anybody out there, if you want to get into some character defects, Drop the Rock. It's a good fucking little book. I think it's 100 pages.
Never heard of it.
Oh my God. Fire. Any normie could read that.
Drop the Rock.
Drop the Rock. And it focuses on steps 6 and 7. That is like my go-to. It just talks about everything, but like it'll talk about drugs and alcohol, but it's like sex, gambling. What are you battling with? And it's, oh man, it's the fun. Like, I believe 1, 2, and 3. This is 12 steps. 1, 2, and 3 is just a decision.
Yeah.
4 through 7 is where recovery's at.
Yeah.
8 and 9 are a result of doing 4 through 7. Because if you do not change the patterns and the behaviors, why are you gonna go fucking apologize anyways?
You can't do that. Yeah,
You're
we
gonna
talked about that the other day. You can't.
Yeah, you're
Because
gonna
the whole
apologize
point-
to your mom and then do it all over
Yeah,
again.
the whole point of the apology is that the behavior has completely changed and that you won't do it again. You know, you can't really say sorry and then go repeat the same thing to the same person.
Yup.
That's why those steps are in order. They're in order for a reason. You know.
Yep.
6 and 7 are huge.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. And 10, 11, and 12 are just maintenance of
Maintenance.
it all. And by the time you're done, you're just subconsciously doing them. Like today, I already did the 12 steps. Subconsciously, I'm practicing them. I practice them like being here. This is recovery.
Yeah.
You hit me up. You said a certain time. I said I couldn't do that time. That's assertiveness that I learned from fucking the program. And then I said, all right, but I'll be there. I was right here, all right, on time.
Yeah, right on
Yep.
time.
Right on time.
Yeah, and that's what it is, and I learned that. And I picked that up, and I picked up more books. 5 months into my sobriety recovery, whatever you want to call it, I still felt the depression come in, and then Mel Robbins was a good woman, thanks to YouTube. I'm glad that I'm like in recovery in 2023.
Yeah.
Like I have everything at my fingertips, bro. Like.
The only thing that would make it even faster is if they put the chip in our brain. and that's coming.
Oh man, and who knows what else they'll put in there. The Torah, bro, Old Testament, bro, like sitting down and talking to a rabbi, anything I can pick up, and it's all on YouTube.
Yeah.
That rabbi that I listened to,
Yeah,
YouTube.
Yeah.
Dave Ramsey, YouTube.
Yeah.
David Goggins, the first time I ever found him,
YouTube.
I was running every day already. Every day. And then I heard him on one of my motos, and I was like, "Oh my God, this guy's like crazy."
Yeah.
He really is crazy. I've read like a couple of his books too. On top of that, it's like he's
Can't Hurt Me is a great book.
Yeah.
Great book.
Yeah. Is that the first one
First
or the
one.
last one?
No, the first one. The last one I just got. I haven't read it.
Oh, I've read it. It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, I didn't read it. I'm lying right now. I listened to it.
Still reading it. That's what I was gonna say. Have you read Goggins' first book?
No.
Can't Hurt Me. Oh
No.
my God.
Yeah, you got to read it.
Should I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I like the audiobook on the second one because some other guy reads it and then they do a 5-minute podcast after each chapter to break down what is talked about
With Goggins?
with Goggins.
Yeah.
Goggins is the one
That's good.
talking
That I like.
on
That's
the
in
pod.
second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
nice.
don't love the guy's voice that reads it. That's always a big thing with me. Like,
But don't they have an audio version where he reads it?
not on the brand, on the first one, yes.
Yeah.
But on the second one, this other guy reads it. I had to speed it up to like 1.5 so that I could his voice was annoying.
Oh, you can do that when you're.
Oh yeah, audiobooks.
See, that's not even.
It's
like
a game changer.
You know why? And you know why I think it's not my thing? Because I'm like technology retard.
Yeah.
Like straight up. Like I just suck at it. Like everything that I do, like, hey babe, how do you do this? Like I'm old school.
Yeah, I just figured it out one day. I was like, what is this button right here? And I hit it, and all of a sudden the book started going faster. And then I hit it again, and the book started going faster. Man. And I was like, oh, this is great. Because I actually can't listen to a book at normal speed. Every book I listen to it at 1.25. But this one I had to bump it up to 1.5 because the guy's voice was like annoying the shit out of me.
On audio version, how long is a book?
Well, that's
like
right.
8
that's
hours.
1.5 to cut it down to 4 hours.
Yeah, an 8-hour book you can do in 6 hours, 5 hours.
At 1.5.
All right. How about? I got a question for you guys. Greatest book you've read?
Good to great.
Like give me 3 books that you would recommend.
Oh my God, I haven't even read 3 books in the last 10 years.
Good to Great is one. It's one of my favorite books on
Good to Great
on leadership. Yeah.
Okay, Good to Great.
I'm actually re-listening to it.
Okay.
I mean, it's a book on leadership. That's where this guy comes from.
And who's the author of that one?
It is Jim Collins.
Are you guys familiar with John C. Maxwell?
No.
Oh my God, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Another one, definitely. If someone's listening, pick it up. It's a good one. It talks about like different laws, and then I think Law of Lit is the first one, and it starts off with like the McDonald's brothers. The chapter 2 is like the Law of Influence or something like that, and it's I think it's Lincoln. He talks about Lincoln and his leadership, and then the third one he talks about Theodore Roosevelt and so on, so on. So he uses not only what he's learned, but it's key moments in history where these people had these laws.
Pivots.
Yeah. So I like him. So if you like leadership.
The War of Art.
The War of Art.
I had it.
Yep. The War of Art. Great book, especially for writers. Anybody out there that's a writer, pick that book up. It's freaking great.
I just finished this book, and it's really good. It's an older book. It's by Napoleon Hill, but Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich. You want? I'm going to put you on something. I read Think and Grow Rich. After he wrote Think and Grow Rich, he wrote another book called Outwitting the Devil. Oh my God.
Outwitting the Devil?
So let me tell you the story behind it. He wrote it, and then he knew it was a game changer. Oh, really? It could have fucking fucked up his career, he felt. And he puts it, wraps it up, puts it on top of a fucking counter or something, maybe in the closet, and he's like, don't ever release that book. And then they just released it like a couple years back.
Really?
It was recommended to me by somebody, and I read it. In the book, he has a conversation with the devil. And the conversation he has with the devil is amazing. He talks about the 6 seeds of fear. And it just like, if you read Think and Grow Rich, it just takes it to the next level. And only a man super connected with something higher than us could write some shit like that. And I'm not like trying to toot his horn.
Yeah.
But goddamn, that conversation with him and the devil.
Yeah.
When he's talking about the 6 seeds of fear.
And see, I wonder how long ago did he write that? Because like Think and Grow Rich is how old?
Think and Grow Rich, if I'm not mistaken, was in the 30s.
It's so old. They say things in this book that's like totally it's offensive, dude.
Yeah.
Like you can't say those words anymore. And I'm like listening to the book, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, did he just say that?
That's funny.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
It was a different era, yeah.
It was a different time, and I think people like tend to sometimes forget about that. Like even like Alcoholics Anonymous starting in the 1930s. Yeah. People forget that America was a different time. Like people don't talk about this shit. It was talked about in the documentary Bill W., where Bill W. was in New York, I think it was, and they wouldn't let some African Americans in a meeting. So like, well, don't you think they should get recovery? He's like, yeah, but not here.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if it was New York. I don't want to say that it was New York, but it was somewhere. Watch the documentary. And he eventually got them to like let them stay outside and listen to the meeting. But eventually they had a group conscious, and then eventually came in. Yeah. So who would have thought that Alcoholics Anonymous was a part of the civil rights movement?
Yeah.
And you got to remember, America was a different time. And I thank God, like going back to like people that are willing to change. like for me too, like this might sound far out to some people, but like my first sponsor was black.
Yeah.
And that was like something super different for culture shock for me.
My last sponsor was a Chicano gang member.
Yeah. And I think that's what's so beautiful about the rooms, and that's so beautiful about any group. Like the diversity come in. Yeah. Because it's like, yeah. And I think that man, for everything he gave me at the time, even though I wasn't ready to accept everything, but I'm glad that he hit me up every fucking day.
I will say this. That is one of the things I love about the 12-step programs is like you have never walked into a room of such diverse people where you can have a judge, a cop, a gang member. I saw a cop, or maybe it was the other way around. One of the two, a gang member was sponsoring a cop. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's cool.
You know?
Yeah.
Where does that happen?
Yeah. It's a game changer.
That's a game changer.
That's big time.
And it's like, you know, at this point in life, man, it's like, for me, I don't care anymore. Because at the end of the day, the Orange County Sheriff's Department saved my life. Yeah. They rescued me from me. Even though I think maybe at the time they might have wanted to put a bullet in me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But they didn't. And, you know, they gave me a life. They helped me get to the life that I live today.
I mean, the rooms helped me with my fucking resentment against people, because then I started realizing all of us are fucked up.
Right.
It really did. Like I would go to meetings in like suburban neighborhoods that were nice, you know, like the Newport meetings. No offense to the people that live in Newport. And this is not even an offense, because like you guys live great. Or the if you live in Newport, you live great.
Or the Laguna Canyon Club. Yeah. I mean, that place is like fucking nice. It's in the canyon. It's like, you've been there, right? Been there.
Yeah, you see what I mean? And being to be able to be around people like that and then hear the shit that comes out of their mouths, and it's, you know, like, oh, you're fucked up too.
But I will admit, I'd rather be at like the Costa Mesa Alano Club.
Yeah.
You know, in the back alley.
Yeah, from myself, I love the more gutter ones.
Yeah.
I love, like, I go to...
I like it when guys walk in.
Whittier, Santa Ana, Anaheim, the 202.
I hear the 202 is like really good, huh?
Oh,
but I hear Santa Ana, the Santa Ana Alano Club is off the hook. I mean, with recovery. Like, good shit.
I go to a meeting on Thursdays in Santa Ana, nothing but like veteran Pecka Woods and like Southsiders. And it's like the stories in there are just fucking, and it's a men's stag too. So you know how it is when men get together, they talk about the really nitty gritty shit. That shit keeps me clean and sober for sure. And then like I've gone to meetings like back home, like in Southeast LA, and getting to hear guys that came out of the same neighborhood. Because like I always just saw the neighborhood, I was like, there's no fucking hope for us, bro. But seeing these guys like, no, yeah, I got sober, whoop-de-whoop, and I'm clean now, or whatever. Sober, clean, you know, because you know the division in those 12 groups and shit.
Yeah, they get really pissed in Alcoholics Anonymous when you say clean.
I never got that.
Then you go to Narcotics Anonymous and you accidentally say the word sober, and you're just like, it's like, man.
The fuck you
and you can't say clean and sober, because I mean, it doesn't really, that pisses them off too. Because then they're like, come on, dude, pick a program. Like, pick one.
Yeah, I've read both of their literatures. Like it, like I said.
I like them both.
Yeah, I like both of their literatures. I'm not gonna lie. Like right now, I'm mostly gravitating towards the Drop the Rock, because it's like I'm past like the abstinence shit. Yeah. Like I'm past like talking about alcohol and cocaine. I'm talking about now like my fucking lustful desire and other fucking things that I still battle with on a daily basis. You know, like, you know, staying spiritually fit, you know, even in the music industry, bro, like, fuck, man, like that shit's like, sometimes envy motherfuckers that can just go to meetings and go home. Like I got to go sometimes in the Lion's Den, and some of these fucking kids, they're fucked up, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And drugs are around.
If you can do anything you want in life though, as long as you remain spiritually fit.
Yeah.
And you have a reason to be in that place. And if you're doing music, you have a reason to be in that place.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be in that place if you're not spiritually fit. You know?
For sure.
And that spiritual fitness comes, it's a 24-hour thing.
Yeah.
Like you could be totally spiritually fit today and wake up tomorrow and fucked up your whole routine.
Oh yeah, I know that for a fact. That's like my last relapse.
Yeah, well, that's how it is for me. That's why the past 6+ years of my life, I have stuck with this specific routine that keeps me spiritually fit before most people even wake up, and I do it every day. I don't fucking, there's no, it's a discipline. It's like a Goggins discipline that I figured out after listening to like Goggins and some of these other guys. I was like, shit, I'm already doing some of these disciplines.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my normal routine is I wake up at 4 a.m. and I do my, and I do my, my spiritual discipline. You know, I read my meditation book. I have my prayers with God. And then from there, I do some of my, now I wasn't doing this before because I was not into social media at all. Now I do some of my posts, and then I hit the gym. And for me, that spiritual part and the gym combined make me really strong. I don't listen to music at the gym. I do my I go to YouTube and I listen to, Motiversity is my favorite. Motiversity. They put together motivational speakers.
Yeah.
And they put it together. They cut it so
They got that
good.
M, right? They got that
Yeah,
M
the
logo.
M.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
They're so good at cutting their stuff and the music that they put to it. And I put that on and I find one and I just fucking go with it. And I do that at the gym instead of music now. And by the time I leave the gym, I'm so pumped and ready for life and for the day. And I don't think anything can stop me. Nothing.
I love that you guys definitely like men badass. You know, like the fucking Navy SEAL Goggins, and obviously Jordan Peterson's such a badass too in his own way. What about Wes Watson? Have you guys heard of Wes Watson? Did 10 fucking years came out?
I do, and I like some of the stuff that he says. I just don't know what the point of his life is. What is he? What is? I haven't figured it out yet. So if he can explain to me,
What's he pushing?
Because what I see that he's pushing is a giant house, cars, and money.
Yeah.
So that's the only little thing that turns me off. I think that it's great that he got out of prison.
Yeah, 10 years and then built a business.
And he built a business, and
Yeah.
he's fucking, you know, he's helping a lot of people, bringing them up too.
Yeah.
And he's doing some good stuff. Is there a purpose? Because money, cars, and houses, that stuff could all disappear overnight. What other value are you bringing to society?
Yeah.
That is always my question. What value? And I followed him for a while. I followed him for about 2 months, and then
prison yard talk though too.
which is fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. The prison yard talk doesn't bother me. I enjoy it if I could find a higher purpose.
Yeah.
I haven't found the higher purpose, and maybe he has one. So I do like him.
Yeah.
I just it wasn't quite what I was looking for, and I think he could add a little something to it, and he would go from like, and I really have no place to talk. Well, yes, I do. Actually, I do. I fucking own. I'm very successful in life. I don't. My social media is nowhere near his, but I think he could go from like 250,000 followers to 10 million followers if he had a clear purpose on, and it wasn't just, look at my cars, look at my money, look at me work out. How is he going to bring value to society?
Yeah.
What's his purpose?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. There's another good one too. I like them because of the criminal aspect, right? Like got out of prison, built a business. Another guy too that I like too that did a lot of time was Wallow. African American. He was in the hip hop game for a while. Same thing with him. And I love his message because he completely shits on like the gang mentality dudes. Like the dudes that come out and brag about all the fucking time they did.
Yeah.
And then it's not taking an L and then like glorifying it so the youngsters think it's like a fucking badge of honor. I love shit like that because it like kills the ego and then it lets you know like, well, yeah, there was a lesson there, but you don't have to go down that path anymore.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I like. I like those guys because of that reason. But I'm just like, I like that's why like guys that I like to listen to is always usually these. I'm gonna say the strong men, like in responsibility, like not the Peter Pan motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
No.
Like
Pancakes.
yeah.
What'd you
fucking
call them?
Peter Pancakes.
Pancakes?
Yeah.
Pancakes? Yeah.
Peter Pancakes.
I mean, I think that we need to, continue to build a strong society. A lot of us went through hard times, and I love that saying that they all talk about that hard times make hard men.
Yeah.
But easy times make weak men.
Yeah.
And life has been too easy for people, and it's creating a society of weak people, and there's gonna come a time when they don't have anything, and then they're gonna have to get strong, and for some of them it's gonna be too late.
Yeah.
So we need to, you can't lie to people.
We fucking need more fucking men teaching these boys to be men. Like women make babies into boys. Men make boys into men.
Right.
And I think like that's what's fucking missing. Like that's like for like growing up, people was like, oh, or like when people want to throw a diss, like you needed love in your life. It's like, I didn't fucking need love in my life, bro. Like I had a mother, she was fucking loving. What I needed was fucking discipline.
Yeah.
I didn't have the fucking fear of God in me. I didn't have a fear of a father. Like my homie Anthony was scared of his fucking dad.
I was scared of my dad.
Yeah. And that's because you have a dad. I'm a fucking bastard. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but 70% of Americans are bastards.
And there we go. And
that's the problem.
But we're creating too many bastards.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
And men need to take care of their children.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's another fucking thing. Like for me, that's like my fucking main purpose. Like I get it. I'm down to be there for like these youngsters and shit. But like my main purpose in this fucking life, to the core of it, is to be there for my son. I literally fucking get out of work and I spend like a solid hour with my son. And that hour is mostly reading out of a fucking book and then trying to make them understand what we're reading.
Nice.
Like comprehending that. Like I got this book called Book of Virtues for Young Men. And I got it for like $1 or $2 at a fucking yard side at a church. And it's just like stories. Like there's different stories. Like there's a story of like Genghis Khan in there with his hawk. Mm-hmm. And like let me say it so I can like at least not like leave everybody. But like he has a hawk and then like he's thirsty and he like tells the hawk to go look for water, and it like goes up and it like circles around where the water's at, and then he goes to the water, and then the fucking hawk's still flying, and then he like gets the water, and then eventually the fucking hawk comes down and knocks the fucking cup out of his hand, and he's like, yo, what the fuck, dude, I want water. And then he goes flying again, and he's like, gets the water, and he's gonna drink it again, and he knocks it out of his fucking hand. And then he looks at his hawk and he says, if you fucking do that one more time, I'm going to kill you. And the third time he gets water, kills the fucking hawk. The hawk dies. And then eventually, Genghis Khan wants to get fresher water, and he walks up a little bit more. And he sees a venomous snake in the water, leaving just venom all in the drinking water. The hawk was trying to save him. So there's stories like that, right? And then like the whole thing that I do with my son is after I'm done reading that with him, I'm saying, so what is this story trying to tell you? And then I listen to him and see where he's at. And I don't try to influence it or nothing. I just want to know where he's at. And that's how I try to teach this kid. And I try to put him in situations too that are hard. Yeah. And I do that on purpose. I consciously fucking do that because I do know like there's a lot of dudes that left their kids and they're not there for their kids, even though you buy them a fucking house and you go get them Legos or you go buy them all this shit. Like to be there in a kid's life is to be there and present. Yeah. And like I think that's what we're missing, and that's what it fucking is, man. Like when are we gonna take some responsibility too? And maybe these dudes don't have fucking a father. Be that surrogate father for them. That surrogate brother, starting that brother. Like right now at the gym, it's like 5 of us. And that's how it started. It's just these youngsters, younger with time in their recovery, younger than us, are seeing us work out on a daily basis. And they just come in.
You know what I like? You know what I like about this younger generation? I see a lot more people going to the gym. You know, I think that recovery is more than just, like you said in the past on this podcast, it's more than just being abstinent. It is you know, living a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
So important. You know, you see a lot of people in the program that are not living healthy lifestyles.
Yeah.
Causes depression, causes a lot of stuff. So it's good to see younger people doing what I've been doing for, you know, 25 years now. When I got into the program, I started working out.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't want to get fat and unhealthy, because I knew if I was fat and unhealthy, then that wouldn't be enough. Like, just being abstinence wouldn't happen for me. It wouldn't. There would be nothing.
Well, you're definitely financially more successful than me. That's for sure. All the things you just said, like before. I want to ask you something. I mean, if you could agree with me or not. Having the physical body, do you think that beats all that? Because at the end of the day, like how you got all that materialistic stuff was mentality, right? Yeah. But like having a healthy body, beats all that.
I wouldn't have gotten any of these things if I wouldn't have started with the healthy body.
Right.
I wouldn't have had. So it was first and foremost for me. It came before my job. It didn't come before me not using.
Yeah.
That came first.
Yeah.
But, you know, and for me now, that thing that's first is God. It's God. It's my family. It's the gym. Yeah. The only thing I'll give up my body for is my family. But there's nobody in my family that would tell me
to give up that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody.
And see if you can agree with me too. There's so much things you learn from fitness about life. Like how you don't want to wake up and do it, but then when you do it, you get that dopamine rush, and you're like, "Oh, it was so freaking worth it."
Well, you stack a win right off the bat, especially, and it doesn't matter if you're a morning workout person or a night workout person. I just happen to be a morning one. That's always been my routine. But you know, when I finish at the gym, I've stacked a win. Sometimes I've stacked 2 wins, because if I've done a full like, you know, weightlifting workout, 1 win. Then I get on and I do my cardio too. That's 2 wins. And for me, that cardio shit's harder than anything in the world. It's harder than coming in here and doing this podcast. It's harder than going to work and dealing with people. And if I can do those 2 things, man, I'm so far. My mindset is so in the zone of I can accomplish anything. I can attack my day and tackle it and
I feel like success leaves a print, right? And like every guy I've ever talked that's successful is a reader, runner, exercises, and practice some form of prohibition in his life. Sobriety or clean or something.
Yeah.
Or some kind of like discipline. And like I think that's the formula right there. And like I think if men can just get that.
It is the formula to success.
And I think exercise has all those combined, because like then eventually you start thinking about what you put in, because like you can't put a fucking workout and then want to just eat trash. Like
no,
you would feel super convicted.
I don't eat. I actually don't eat trash. I eat a shit ton of flame broiler, and it's not trash. Yeah. Flame broiler is my jam.
Yeah,
you had flame broilers today. But I was gonna say we had two podcasts before you. We had on Mr. Olympia,
1986, 89.
No, 1990.
89, 90. You're right.
No, Mr. Universe.
Yes.
One of the.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we were talking to him about, like, you know, what does it take to be a mindset of a champion, right? And it's like the same stuff that like we're talking about right now. Discipline, a relentless discipline, and a desire, because he said he got 2nd place 2 years in a row. And on the 3rd one, he was, and people kept asking him, are you going to do it again? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to do it again.
And all that shit takes sacrifice, bro. And that's like the one thing even religions and old tribes had, this sacrificial moment. Yeah. You know, the Aztecs had it, all those.
And he said the year he did it, the year he won, he knew when he walked out on
I
stage.
love it.
And he had put in all this work. And then he asked him, like, what about partying? What about the lifestyle? What about the girls? What about this? And he was a young freaking yoked, guy. What about all that? He said, I didn't care about any of that.
Yeah.
I cared about winning that number one spot. And he won that number one spot. It made me pumped, kind of.
I love that.
Just to hear that.
See, those are the
Because, like,
fucking...
I stay disciplined on a daily basis. I built my businesses through discipline. I'm building this podcast through discipline. Like my number one spot is I won't feel accomplished in this podcast until everybody has heard of the Hopeaholics. They've heard my voice. They've heard me talk about fentanyl, and that fentanyl is fucking killing our loved ones. So that's like
one thing we can know that's gonna make it is just the consistency. Oh, just recording, showing up every day and recording, getting more heads that got their own network and just pumping it out.
Right.
And that's it.
Yeah, you put when we post your picture, when we post your podcast, you put that shit out to all your people too.
Yeah.
And it's like that's
Same
actually
thing.
It's just like we have these little growths, but eventually it's gonna have ginormous growth.
And I think, and I can only speak for myself. I kind of knew that mathematics going into, because like it's 6 years now, right? I've been in this music industry business. I call it business, not industry, because the music industry is something else. Business. That's how I did it. I did it with just consistency, showing up. Everyone's like, "Well, how much are you getting paid?" It's like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
We just show up.
Right now,
it
I'm
doesn't
getting paid
matter.
nothing.
Like we were just like people don't know this. Like the first 4 to 5 years, I was just showing up. Like sometimes I was losing more money than I was putting in, but the name eventually became Googleable. Eventually, you knew my name in certain circles, and I like that.
Yeah.
And it's the circles that I wanted to be a part of. Like our music is outlaw folk, and not only is it outlaw folk, it's stamped by the outlaw culture. 1% clubs fucking listen to our shit religiously.
Nice.
So not only do we have a word in our fucking music, it's stamped by the fucking people that say, no, yeah, we listen to that.
Yeah.
I know him. He actually comes and hangs out here.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. When the culture started picking me up, and I learned that from KRS-One, feed the culture, and the culture would feed you. And now,
yeah, we sit here for 4 hours almost every day, and we're not making a penny.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, if I'm sitting here, I'm losing money because I'm losing my time.
Yeah. To be somewhere else doing other things.
To be somewhere else doing other things. But this is so important to me that even at the end of the day, if a penny isn't made and this results in world change, especially America change. Yeah. That we go, because we went to war 6 weeks ago on against fentanyl. That's what this is. This is a war on fentanyl. And we went to war, and the government has to join us, and we'll just keep going. I mean, it's good shit, man.
All right, so for me, like, I just want to like implement myself in your war. I'm just like, if you guys ever need some entertainment, I'm in it.
Yeah.
And I'm not only here to entertain with the music, I'll speak on it too. Like, if you guys want, like I know one thing about building these fundraisers, because I've done this with Set Free, I've done this with other people. Like, you need different aspects of it. You need the speakers, you need the entertainers, the DJs, all that, and
yeah, we're gonna go to the Magic
on the 20th?
Magic House,
May 20th. Not the house, the warehouse. When they have their next big event,
that's the gym. That's what
we're gonna go mobile.
Yeah, I'll be performing there.
Yeah, we're gonna be in the ring.
Yeah, so you'll get to hear me perform. You get to see what we do.
Nice.
And like it's like not all my songs are like the recovery, but there's a lot of them like Coming Down, Death Valley. I spread the message that way. That's how I spread the message. And like I said, like in moments like this, so anywhere I go, it's just that's what it is.
Well,
for
our
me.
podcast isn't always recovery. I mean, we've had like just another pro bodybuilder that and they just talk about their experience in their life. Yeah. It's any type of message of hope is welcome on our podcast. Although for the most part we're mental health and recovery based. But that's just like our mission. Our mission is to create change with the fentanyl crisis. Yeah. Create change with the fentanyl crisis. This is fucking ridiculous, you know?
Yeah. That's the hope that I'm just trying to leave to. Is just like letting like people know that like, hey, if I could change, anyone can change. Yeah. Especially in my neighborhood, like the neighborhood I come from. Like I said, like not a lot of us get out,
right?
You know, and it's not only gangs. It's the lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's the lifestyle.
People get stuck in there. It's a fucked up thing, and you know, people can actually get out of those places. It just takes a mindset.
Yeah.
You know, I walked in and I had a different life because I grew up semi-wealthy. My dad was a doctor. When I was 18, we lost everything. And I went from that to straight up drug addict on the street, no money, you know, trying to hustle, fucking learn. I had to learn. So it's a little bit harder when you have to learn how to hustle at 18 when you didn't have it bred into you from the beginning. So I was getting hustled for a few years until I figured out how to stop getting hustled by people. Using my addiction as a driving force to do something good in this world. Mm-hmm. So and that's really what happened, and that's how it happened. This was in 2000 and 22 years I've been working in this industry, this recovery treatment industry. It's all I've been doing. It's all I know. So it's my whole entire adult life. It's all I know.
It's good stuff.
Well, thanks for coming by, man. We this was a fucking really good podcast, huh?
Yeah, really good. Really good. Draining.
Yeah.
Draining.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Draining all my fucking love, everything I leave on the table here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just for the people out there, I just wanted to give a message like, hey, it does work. And I just hope everyone understands that there's a difference between sobriety and recovery. Sobriety is the abstinence of a substance. Recovery is actually finding what you lost. And abstinence alone isn't recovery, but recovery can't start without abstinence. So you kind of need the peanut butter and the jelly to make the PB&J, you know? And I just hope that people out there stop like thinking that this is just about abstinence, you know, and get help, whatever, treatment, treatment centers, AA, NA, Al-Anon for the people that are outside, like battling with it. There's so much help. If you're homeless, fucking ask somebody, man. Like I do believe we're in 2023. I believe I've only met people that want to help people.
Yeah.
So I don't get why we still, and that's why, like, for me, my own conclusion is that it's not really it's just a problem of rebellion.
Right.
Because like I only know people that want to help people. I just met 2 more.
Yeah.
You know, and you guys got a beautiful building. I want to thank you for having me. I'm spreading the message through my music. I'm willing to, if there's artists out there that want to know, like, hey, how do I do it, bro? How do I start? Because there's a difference between being an artist and being in the music business. Mm-hmm. And I was an artist since the age of 12, but today I'm in the music business. Today I actually monetize my art, and that's not easy,
right? Because
it's hard, but there's ways to do it, and social media helps, and being a part of a network, and like I organize too a couple gigs to just help upcoming artists. Sometimes too, when the Magic House wants artists, I bring artists too, so they can get their name out and get it. And some of them are barely starting in their recovery. So that's my way of being a part of it. And
that's awesome.
Just like doing whatever I can. It's like spreading the message in any way. And, you know, and I am a part of that Set Free and Magic House group. And whenever they need me anywhere I go, I'll give you guys the same. Like, if you guys ever need some entertainment, hit me up.
Absolutely.
And I'm always, I got my guitar and I'll come and play.
Nice.
I'm always of service.
That's
and
awesome.
like when you guys hit me up, I wanted to do that. So that's what I've learned from the program. It's not about me no more. I really don't do it for the money. Trust me, if you know what musicians make, you would fucking be like, yeah, I should probably get a real job. But you know what? I do it because I love it.
Yeah.
You know, and today I don't live above my means. I've learned to be content in the life I live, and I feel I'm the richest man in the room.
Yeah.
I've been around some rich people, and but today I do understand one thing too is there is no chemical, materialistic, or romantic solution for a spiritual problem.
Nope.
So I've seen guys with money
And
miserable.
motherfuckers.
I've seen guys with marriages and can't wait to get divorced. I've seen guys on drugs.
That one I don't understand. Well, I suppose I could understand that, but like I married my best friend.
That's amazing.
Like I literally married my best friend. And on top of that, like I'm married so far out of my like league. Like that's what I feel like. I don't know if she feels the same way, but like when I look at my wife, when I met my wife for the very first time, I was like, holy fuck, that's the most beautiful girl that I've ever seen. And I was like, there's no way in the world this girl's going to like me. That's what I thought.
Your first success story right there. The first conquer.
Yeah. And we hadn't met, and we were going out and we met online. We went on this date, and I saw she got out of this Cadillac Escalade with rims on it. And I was like, and she's like taller than me. And I saw her and I was like, oh my God. And I like walked up. I was nervous. I was like super nervous. She like gave me a hug and a kiss on the cheek. And I started she started walking in front of me to get in the car. And she turned around and looked at me and said, "You're handsome." And I was like, that was it.
Nice.
That was it. All that anxiety that I had, all the insecurities that like we as addicts carry.
Yeah.
It all went away. And that was it.
Yeah.
And yeah. Did you know that story, Shane?
Yeah, good for you.
Fucking teammate.
Yeah.
You got a teammate, bro.
Yeah.
It's good.
She supports me in all of this crazy ass bullshit that I'm doing here.
Same.
She's like, as long as you're happy. That's that at the end of the day, that's always her
Behind
answer.
every strong man is a strong woman.
I just wrote a whole
that.
big ass post about it, thanking her.
Yeah. Like it's same thing here. Like my wife has been a big. I mean, she's the one you talk to on the emails. She's the one that has helped me with a lot of the technical parts of it. She's been there. I mean, fuck, she's been through ups and downs, and there's been a lot of downs.
Yeah.
So behind every strong man, I do believe there's a strong woman. If you don't have her, make sure you find a woman that wants you even through the hard times, because goddamn well, there'll be hard times.
There will be hard times. In case anybody's wondering, Shane is the one, if you're emailing me, he's the one that's answering the emails. Right?
That's not fucking true, but I'll take it. That's fine. That's a good one. That's funny. That's me answering.
It's actually,
that's all me.
And if it's the DMs on Instagram, it's Michelangelo. Just in case anybody's wondering. I answer every once in a while though. I answer the D. If you like I have my own Instagram, but I actually do run the Hopeaholics Instagram.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I post like 90% of the stuff on the Hopeaholics. But I don't answer like a lot of the direct messages unless somebody's like wants to be a guest. I like it when people want to be a guest.
Yeah.
Our following's not that big yet, but we're
it's gonna get there, man.
We're working on it.
Oh, yeah,
God, man, I remember freaking playing a bar and grill, and there was like 2 people there, and they were there on date night. They weren't even there for us, so don't feel discouraged. Like this, like
we started with 0.
Small beginnings.
We started with 0.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I did this. We started with Hope by the Sea, man. We started with 2 beds. Now we have like 250. I can't whistle. Can you whistle?
No.
Huh?
No.
Like go like this. This is how we end our shows. It gets
Calling
really
out the birds,
It gets
calling out
really
the
bad
birds.
after 6 hours of podcasting, right, Michelangelo?
All right, guys.
All right, man. Thanks for coming.
Right, beautiful.
Thank
yeah,
you.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. All right. Straight picture.
Straight to the picture, and then what?